Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel. So excited you're here because today, oh my gosh, we're diving deep. Like seriously deep. We're gonna be uncovering something truly special, their true feelings for you. Yep, we're cutting through the surface and getting to the heart of what they really feel. So what makes this reading extra juicy? Well, we're not just skimming the surface. We are going to be tapping into their subconscious, peeling back the layers, and revealing what they might not even be saying out loud. Building the anticipation, right? We'll get to that raw, honest truth. It's going to be intense, but so worth it, I promise. And this reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching, this is meant for you. Okay, so let's meet our piles. For pile number 1, we have the Labradorite dragon, all about nurturing energy, unveiling that protected heart and those cared-for emotions. Pile number 2 features a turquoise cluster, about balancing their inner and outer worlds and exploring what their actions reveal or conceal. Next up, pile number 3, we have a black obsidian point, cutting through illusion, getting to the raw truth, and revealing unfiltered feelings. Finally, for pile number 4, we have the Citrine pyramid, about rising above the past and how past experiences are shaping their feelings now. Go ahead and choose the pile you're most drawn to. Seriously, trust your intuition on this. There's no pressure to get it right. Take a deep breath, connect with the crystals, and pick the one that calls to you. And while you're choosing, let's take a moment to make a wish. May your reading bring clarity, truth, and maybe a little bit of magic. Remember, it's totally okay to check out multiple piles. I can't wait to see you in your reading. Hey there, pile, Labradorite dragon. Thanks so much for choosing this pile. This crystal is all about nurturing, and it looks like your reading is going to be about unveiling a protected heart. That means we're diving into someone who might seem strong on the outside, but they've got some serious feels hidden away. Okay, let's get into these cards. So first up, we have the King of Cups. Oh, this is so interesting. Okay, so the King of Cups, right off the bat, tells me that the person you're inquiring about, or maybe even you, has a very, very strong emotional core. I mean, this is someone who leads with their heart. It's like they feel everything deeply. Like they're probably the friend that everyone goes to for advice, the one who always knows what to say to make you feel better. You know, they have this calming presence, this ability to just, soothe everyone around them. But, and this is a big but, they're also really good at keeping their own emotions in check, maybe too good. Think of it like, they're a rock for everyone else, but who is their rock? That's the question that's coming up for me right now. They might come across as super composed, always in control, but underneath that, there's a whole ocean of feelings that they're not really letting anyone see. It's like they've built this wall around their heart to protect themselves, and it's like a really beautiful wall, all made of kindness and compassion, but it's still a wall, you know. Okay, so with the nurturing energy of the Labradorite dragon, it makes total sense that the King of Cups is here. This person is a natural caregiver. They genuinely want to help others. They're probably really empathetic, like they can feel what other people are feeling, which is amazing, but it can also be really draining, right? They need to be careful not to take on everyone else's burdens, because they're so good at being there for everyone, they forget to be there for themselves. Okay, and this King of Cups energy is probably why you're drawn to them in the first place, right? Like, you see their kindness, their warmth, their ability to connect with others on a deep level. It's super attractive, but it's also a little mysterious because you can sense that there's more to them than meets the eye. Like, you know, they have this whole hidden world of emotions, and you're curious about it, you want to understand it, but they're not exactly opening up, you know? And this is where the next card comes in, which is the Moon. Ooh, this is juicy. Okay, so the Moon is all about hidden things, illusions, fears, the subconscious. It's like, what's lurking beneath the surface, what's not being said. With the King of Cups already being someone who's pretty guarded with their emotions, the Moon just amplifies that. It's like, okay, what are they really feeling? What are they afraid to show? The Moon can represent, a fear of vulnerability. Maybe they've been hurt in the past, and they're afraid to open up again. Or maybe they just don't want to burden anyone with their problems. They want to be the strong one, the one who's always there for everyone else, so they keep their own struggles hidden away. And this isn't necessarily a conscious thing, you know? It's not like they're deliberately trying to deceive anyone, including themselves. It's more like they've just gotten so used to suppressing their emotions that it's become a habit. There might also be some insecurities here that they're not really acknowledging. Maybe they're afraid of not being good enough, or of being rejected, or of losing control. These fears are all swirling around in their subconscious, influencing their behavior, but they're not really dealing with them head-on. And the thing about the moon is that it can create illusions, right? Like things aren't always what they seem. So this person might be projecting an image of strength and confidence, but underneath that, they're feeling really insecure and uncertain. The moon can also represent some past trauma or unresolved issues that are still affecting them. Maybe they went through something difficult in their childhood, or they had a really painful breakup, and they haven't fully healed from it. These past experiences are casting a shadow over their present, making it hard for them to trust and to open up. And it's not that they're intentionally trying to hide these things, it's just that they're so deeply buried, they might not even be aware of them themselves. Like, they've built up these defense mechanisms to protect themselves, and those mechanisms are working overtime. But the thing is, those defense mechanisms are also preventing them from truly connecting with others, from experiencing real intimacy. I feel like this person might be prone to overthinking things, to getting caught up in their own head. They might spend a lot of time analyzing their feelings, trying to figure out what's really going on, but they're not really getting anywhere because they're not being honest with themselves. It's like they're trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces, and this can lead to a lot of anxiety and confusion. They might feel like they're constantly walking on eggshells, afraid of saying or doing the wrong thing. So with the King of Cups and the Moon together, we have someone who's incredibly caring and empathetic, but also deeply guarded and insecure. They're putting on a brave face for the world, but underneath that, they're struggling with a lot of hidden emotions and fears. And this is where the next card comes in, Judgment. Judgment is like a wake-up call, a moment of reckoning, a time for transformation. It's about facing the truth, letting go of the past, and stepping into a new version of yourself. With the moon representing all those hidden emotions and fears, Judgment is saying, okay, it's time to bring these things to light. It's time to heal and to grow. This is huge. This is a big turning point, and it goes right to the theme of unveiling a protected heart. Judgment isn't always easy. It can be a painful process. It might involve confronting some uncomfortable truths about yourself or about your past. But it's also incredibly liberating because it allows you to break free from old patterns and to create a new future for yourself. Think of it like shedding your skin, like a snake. It might be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for growth. This card is saying that it's time for this person to stop hiding their emotions and to start being more authentic. It's time for them to let go of those old fears and insecurities and to embrace their true selves. And this is going to involve some serious introspection. They need to take a long, hard look at their life and figure out what's really important to them. What are their values? What are their goals? What's holding them back? The Judgment card also suggests that there might be some kind of external event that triggers this transformation. Maybe it's a conversation with someone they trust. Maybe it's a major life change. Maybe it's just a moment of clarity that comes out of nowhere. But whatever it is, it's going to shake them up and force them to reevaluate their life. And this isn't just about them individually. It's also about their relationships. Judgment is saying that it's time for them to be more honest and open with the people they care about. It's time for them to let down their guard and to show their true selves, even if it's scary. Because the truth is, the people who really love them will accept them for who they are, flaws and all. This transformation might involve some major changes in their life. They might decide to end a relationship that's not working, or to change careers, or to move to a new city. They might even decide to completely reinvent themselves. But whatever they do, it's going to be a reflection of their true selves, not just what they think they should be. And the really cool thing about Judgment is that it's not just about the past. It's also about the future. It's about creating a new future for yourself, a future that's aligned with your values and your goals. It's about stepping into your power and living your life to the fullest. So, with the King of Cups, the Moon, and Judgment together, it's like this person has all this potential for love and compassion, but they've been holding themselves back because of their fears and insecurities. But now, it's time for them to break free from those limitations and to step into their true power. This could mean so many things in a practical sense, right? Like, maybe they finally tell someone how they really feel. Maybe they start going to therapy to deal with some past trauma. Maybe they just start being more honest with themselves about what they really want in life. Or maybe you will be the catalyst for that change. This could be a beautiful turning point, Pile, a real unveiling, just like the Labradorite dragon promised. I'm so excited to see where this goes next. Okay, so the King of Wands. Oh my gosh, this is like a complete 180 from where we were, right? We've gone from like all this hidden, watery emotion with the King of Cups and the Moon, and then this moment of reckoning with Judgment, and now bam, we have the King of Wands. It's like they're not just feeling things, they're doing things. This card is all about taking action, being bold, and stepping into your power. It's like, after all that soul-searching and facing their fears, this person is finally ready to unleash their inner fire. It's like they are saying, okay, I know who I am, I know what I want, and I'm going to go get it. So, the King of Wands, he's confident, he's charismatic, he's a natural leader. He inspires people, he gets things done, and he's not afraid to take risks. Think of someone like, I don't know, a really passionate entrepreneur or a motivational speaker. Someone who just lights up a room with their energy, you know. But the cool thing about this King of Wands, in the context of the other cards, is that he's not just acting from a place of ego. He's not just trying to prove something to the world. He's acting from a place of authenticity. It's like he's finally aligned with his true self, and that's what makes him so powerful. Remember how we talked about the Judgment card being a wake-up call? Well, the King of Wands is like the action that comes after that wake-up call. It's like they've realized what they want to change, and now they're actually doing it. It's not just a thought, it's a deed. So what kind of action are they taking? Well, it could be anything, really. Maybe they're starting a new project, maybe they're speaking their mind more openly, maybe they're finally pursuing their dreams. Whatever it is, it's something that feels really aligned with their passions and their values. It feels like they are saying, this is me, take it or leave it. And because this King of Wands is coming after the Moon, it feels like they're not letting fear hold them back anymore. They're not letting those insecurities and doubts control their decisions. They're still probably feeling those things, because like, the Moon doesn't just disappear, but they're not letting them dictate their actions. They're pushing through them. Think of it like, someone who's always been afraid of public speaking finally signing up for a Toastmasters class. They're still nervous, they're still probably sweating bullets, but they're doing it anyway because they know it's something they need to do to grow. That's the King of Wands energy right there. And it's not just about taking action, it's also about inspiring others. The King of Wands has this natural ability to motivate people, to get them excited about their own potential. People are drawn to his energy, they want to be around him, they want to follow his lead. But again, because of the previous cards, this isn't just about being a charismatic leader. It's about leading with integrity, with compassion, with authenticity. It's about using their power to make a positive impact on the world. Remember, they're a King of Cups at their core, so that empathy is still there, guiding them. They aren't just running wild with ego. So, how does this new energy impact their relationships? Well, I think it's going to make them more attractive, more magnetic. People are going to be drawn to their confidence and their passion. But it's also going to require them to be more honest and open with their partners. They can't hide behind that wall anymore. They have to let their true selves shine through, even if it's a little scary. And the people who are meant to be in their life will appreciate that. They will be drawn to their authentic self. This could also mean that they're attracting a different kind of partner, someone who's also confident and passionate, someone who challenges them and inspires them to grow. It's like they're leveling up their relationships along with themselves. But it's not all sunshine and roses, right? There are always challenges. One of the potential challenges with the King of Wands is that they can be a little impulsive, a little impatient. They want things to happen now, and they can get frustrated when they don't. They might also have a tendency to be a little bit bossy or controlling, especially if they're not careful. They need to remember to listen to other people's ideas and to be open to different perspectives. It's like they have to make sure that their fire doesn't burn everything around them. But I think, because of the Judgment card, they're aware of these tendencies and they're actively working on them. They're trying to be a more balanced and conscious leader. They're trying to use their power for good, not for ego. So, what's the overall message here? I think it's about embracing your true self, stepping into your power, and taking action on your dreams. It's about letting your inner fire shine brightly and inspiring others to do the same. It's about being bold, being courageous, and being authentic. It's about saying, "This is who I am, and I'm not afraid to show it." And it all circles back to the nurturing energy of the Labradorite dragon. It's like nurturing themselves so they can be this powerful King of Wands. Remember, the Labradorite dragon is all about unveiling a protected heart. And the King of Wands is doing just that. He's tearing down those walls, letting his true emotions shine through, and embracing his vulnerability. It's like he's finally comfortable in his own skin. And that's what makes him so attractive, so magnetic, so powerful. People can sense his authenticity, his genuine passion, and they're drawn to it like moths to a flame. The world needs that kind of energy right now, people who are not afraid to be themselves and to stand up for what they believe in. So, how can you apply this to your own life? Well, think about what you're passionate about. What are your dreams? What are you afraid to do? And then take one small step towards those things. It doesn't have to be a huge leap, just one little step. Sign up for that class, start that project, have that conversation. Just do something that scares you a little bit, something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Find people who support you, who believe in you, who inspire you to be your best self. Surround yourself with positive energy and let it fuel your fire. Let your inner King or Queen of Wands shine brightly. Because the world needs your light, it needs your passion, it needs your authentic self. Don't be afraid to be bold, to be courageous, to be yourself. That's the message of the King of Wands, and it's a powerful one. After all that internal work, the external expression is ready. I'm super curious to see what's coming up next. I feel like we're on the verge of something huge for this person. What's the universe going to throw our way next? Okay. So after all that fire and action, we have the Queen of Cups. Wow, this is so beautiful, especially after everything we've seen so far. So remember how we had the King of Cups at the beginning, and how that was all about them being emotionally guarded but also super empathetic. And then we had that Judgment card where they had to face all their hidden stuff. And then bam, the King of Wands, where they just burst out with confidence and action. Well, now we have the Queen of Cups, and this feels like it's about their true feelings finally coming forward. But it's also more than that, it's like. This card is about what they are seeking. I feel like this Queen of Cups represents their ideal partner, or the kind of relationship they're now ready to have. It's like they've healed so much, and now they're attracting someone who reflects that healing back to them. You know, like attracts like. This is so exciting, Pyle. I'm getting chills. It all goes back to unveiling a protected heart, and now that heart is ready for love. So the Queen of Cups, she's all about emotional connection, intuition, and compassion. She's like the ultimate empath, she just gets people. She's nurturing, she's caring, and she's deeply in touch with her own emotions. But unlike the King of Cups, she's not afraid to show them. She's vulnerable, she's open, and she's authentic. It's like she's saying, "This is me, flaws and all, take it or leave it." And that's what makes her so magnetic. Remember how the Moon card was all about hidden fears and insecurities? Well, the Queen of Cups has faced those fears, and she's come out stronger on the other side. She's not afraid to be vulnerable because she knows that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. She's learned to trust her intuition and to follow her heart, even when it's scary. And that's what makes her so powerful. And after that Judgment card, it's like she's shed all those old layers of protection and she's ready to embrace a new kind of love. A love that's based on honesty, authenticity, and mutual respect. She's not looking for someone to rescue her or to complete her. She's looking for someone to share her life with, someone who will support her dreams and challenge her to grow. And with that King of Wands energy, she's not just sitting around waiting for love to find her. She's actively creating the kind of life she wants to live, and she's attracting people who are aligned with her values and her passions. She's confident, she's charismatic, and she's not afraid to go after what she wants. She knows her worth, and she's not going to settle for anything less than she deserves. And it all ties back to the nurturing energy of the Labradorite dragon. The Labradorite dragon is all about protecting and nurturing, and this Queen of Cups embodies that energy perfectly. It's like she's finally ready to nurture someone else, to give them the love and support they need to thrive. But she's also really good at nurturing herself, at taking care of her own emotional needs. She knows that she can't pour from an empty cup, so she makes sure to prioritize her own well-being. But is there a catch? Are there any potential challenges here? Of course, there always are. One of the things to watch out for with the Queen of Cups is that she can sometimes be a little too emotional. She can get caught up in her feelings and lose sight of the bigger picture. She might also have a tendency to be a little bit codependent, to put other people's needs before her own. She needs to be careful not to get swept away by her emotions and to remember to set healthy boundaries. She also needs to make sure that she's attracting the right kind of person, someone who's emotionally mature and who's capable of giving her the love and support she needs. She doesn't want to end up with someone who's just going to take advantage of her kindness and compassion. She needs someone who can meet her on an equal playing field. So, what does this all mean in practical terms? How does this Queen of Cups energy manifest in their daily life? Well, it could mean that they're attracting a new partner who embodies these qualities. Someone who's kind, compassionate, and emotionally intelligent. Someone who's not afraid to be vulnerable and who's looking for a deep, meaningful connection. Or it could mean that they're developing these qualities within themselves. They're becoming more emotionally aware, more intuitive, and more compassionate. They're learning to trust their gut and to follow their heart. And as they embody these qualities, they're attracting more positive and fulfilling relationships into their life. It could also mean that they're finally ready to open up to someone they've been interested in for a while. They're letting down their guard and showing their true feelings, even if it's scary. They're taking a risk and putting themselves out there, knowing that it might not work out, but also knowing that it's worth the risk. And how can you apply this to your own life, Pile? Well, think about what qualities you're looking for in a partner or in a relationship. Are you looking for someone who's kind, compassionate, and emotionally intelligent? Or are you settling for less than you deserve? Are you being honest with yourself about what you really want? And are you embodying those qualities yourself? Are you being kind, compassionate, and emotionally intelligent? Are you being vulnerable and authentic? Are you letting your true feelings shine through? If you want to attract a Queen of Cups into your life, you need to be a Queen of Cups. You know, this is such a powerful card, Pile. It's all about embracing your emotions, trusting your intuition, and attracting the kind of love you deserve. It's about unveiling your true heart and letting it shine brightly. And after all that inner work they've done, they are so ready for this. Gosh, I'm so excited for them. I feel like this is a real turning point. Okay, so what's coming up next? What does the universe have in store for them? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what the next card is. I feel like we're on the verge of something truly magical. What's going to seal the deal here? What's the final piece of the puzzle? Let's find out. Okay. Wow, so after all that beautiful Queen of Cups energy, we pull the Five of Swords. Oh my gosh, okay, this is interesting. This feels like a total shift, right? We're going from all this loving, open energy to conflict. I know, right? It's like, why universe, why? But hold on, don't freak out yet, Pile. Let's see how this fits into the bigger picture, because I don't think it negates all the good stuff we've seen so far. It just adds another layer, right? So, the Five of Swords. This card is, like, traditionally all about conflict, defeat, and, like, sometimes even humiliation. It's like someone's won a battle, but at what cost, you know. They might have gotten what they wanted, but they've also alienated people, burned bridges, and maybe even compromised their own integrity. It's a messy card, for sure. Someone may have been in it for themselves. And after all that work this person has done on themselves, I'm like, oh no, is this person going backwards? I'm going to start there, but something tells me there's more here. We're going to peel back all the layers. So the first thing that comes to mind is, like, has this person gotten into a conflict with someone else? Maybe a lover, a friend, a family member. Because, like, remember how we were saying that the Queen of Cups might be attracting new people into their life? Well, maybe this is a clash of personalities or values. Maybe they're realizing that not everyone is as emotionally mature or as evolved as they are. And maybe they are fighting with their own heart. Or maybe they are fighting with their own protected heart. This is a battle for the ages. Or, like, could this be an internal conflict? Maybe they're struggling with their own ego, with their own desire to be right or to win. Maybe they're falling back into old patterns of defensiveness or aggression, even after all that healing they've done. I mean, the moon energy is still there, right? Those hidden fears and insecurities don't just disappear overnight. So maybe they're acting out of fear, trying to protect themselves from getting hurt again. It could be a fear of love. And you know what? I'm also getting a sense that this conflict might be necessary in some way. Like, maybe it's forcing them to confront some uncomfortable truths about themselves or about their relationships. Maybe it's pushing them to set clearer boundaries or to stand up for what they believe in, even if it's scary. Is this going to get ugly? Not necessarily. Like, think about it, Pile. We had that judgment card, right? And judgment is all about facing the truth and letting go of the past. So maybe this conflict is a way of clearing out the old, making space for the new. Maybe it's a necessary step in their transformation, even if it's not pretty. I almost feel that the person from the beginning of the reading would not have handled this well, but they are doing a lot better now. But the thing is, the Five of Swords can also be a warning. It's like, hey, be careful how you handle this conflict. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Don't try to win at all costs. Because, like, you might win the battle, but you could lose the war. You know what I mean? It's so true. So how does this all connect back to the previous cards? Well, let's see. With the King of Cups, remember how we said that this person is really good at keeping their emotions in check. Maybe this conflict is forcing them to finally express their anger or their frustration, instead of just bottling it up. Maybe they're learning to be more assertive, to speak their mind without being afraid of hurting someone's feelings. And with the moon, maybe this conflict is bringing some hidden issues to the surface. Maybe it's revealing some unconscious patterns that they need to address. It could be a chance for them to heal some old wounds and to move forward with more clarity and self-awareness. And with the King of Wands, maybe this conflict is a test of their leadership skills. Can they navigate this difficult situation with integrity and compassion? Can they inspire others to work together towards a common goal, even when they disagree? It's time to put their leadership to the test. And with the Queen of Cups, maybe this conflict is showing them what they truly value in a relationship. Are they willing to compromise? Are they willing to forgive? Are they willing to put in the work to make things right? This is an important test for them. It's really going to show them who they are. So, what are the lessons that can be learned from the Five of Swords? I think there are a few. First, it's important to be mindful of your ego. Don't let your desire to be right or to win cloud your judgment. Try to see things from the other person's perspective and to find a solution that works for everyone. Second, it's important to communicate your needs and your feelings clearly and respectfully. Don't bottle things up or let resentment build. Express yourself in a way that's honest but also kind. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, but also don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Stand up for the Queen of Cups that you are. Third, it's important to set healthy boundaries. Don't let people take advantage of you or treat you disrespectfully. Know your worth and don't settle for anything less than you deserve. It's okay to say no. and it's okay to walk away from relationships that are toxic or draining. And fourth, it's important to forgive. Holding on to anger and resentment will only hurt you in the long run. Forgive yourself for your mistakes and forgive others for their mistakes. Let go of the past and focus on creating a better future. And how can they move forward in a healthy way? Well, I think it starts with self-care. This is a time to nurture themselves, to connect with their emotions, and to practice compassion. This is where the nurturing energy of the Labradorite dragon really comes into play. They need to take care of their physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. They need to get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, exercise, and spend time in nature. They need to meditate, journal, or do whatever helps them to connect with their inner selves. And they need to surround themselves with supportive and loving people. Also, the Labradorite dragon reminds me that even though they are strong, they can still have a support system. And remember, Pile, this is just one card in a larger reading. It doesn't mean that everything is falling apart or that they're doomed to failure. It just means that they're facing a challenge and they have the opportunity to learn and grow from it. It's a test of their strength, their resilience, and their commitment to unveiling their protected heart. This card is very in tune with the theme. The unveiling is not always easy. I think they have made a lot of progress but still fight with themselves. It's okay. It's all okay. So don't lose hope, Pile. This is not the end of the story. This is just a chapter. And who knows? Maybe this conflict will actually lead to something beautiful in the end. Maybe it will bring them closer to their true selves and closer to the kind of love they deserve. Just breathe, trust the process, and remember that you are not alone. We're all here to support you. Now, okay, I'm super curious what the final card is going to be. After this messy Five of Swords energy, what's the universe going to throw our way? Is it going to be a resolution, a reconciliation, or something completely unexpected? I'm on the edge of my seat. Let's find out. Oh my gosh, okay, wow. After all that beautiful Queen of Cups energy, we pull the Five of Swords. Oh my gosh, okay, this is interesting. This feels like a total shift, right? We're going from like all this loving, open energy to conflict. I know, right? It's like, why universe, why? But hold on, don't freak out yet, Pile. Let's see how this fits into the bigger picture, because I don't think it negates all the good stuff we've seen so far. It just adds another layer, right? So, the Five of Swords. This card is, like, traditionally all about conflict, defeat, and, like, sometimes even humiliation. It's like, someone's won a battle, but at what cost, you know? They might have gotten what they wanted, but they've also alienated people, burned bridges, and maybe even compromised their own integrity. It's a messy card, for sure. Someone may have been in it for themselves. And after all that work this person has done on themselves, I'm like, oh no, is this person going backwards? I'm going to start there, but something tells me there's more here. We're going to peel back all the layers. So, the first thing that comes to mind is like, has this person gotten into a conflict with someone else? Maybe a lover, a friend, a family member. Because, like, remember how we were saying that the Queen of Cups might be attracting new people into their life? Well, maybe this is a clash of personalities or values. Maybe they're realizing that not everyone is as emotionally mature or as evolved as they are. Maybe they're realizing that this person from their past may try to return. And maybe they are fighting with their own heart. Or maybe they are fighting with their own protected heart. I'm sure they have faced the fear that people from their past may come back and try to sabotage what they have built. This is a battle for the ages. Or like, could this be an internal conflict? Maybe they're struggling with their own ego, with their own desire to be right or to win. Maybe they're falling back into old patterns of defensiveness or aggression, even after all that healing they've done. I mean, the moon energy is still there, right? Those hidden fears and insecurities don't just disappear overnight. So maybe they're acting out of fear, trying to protect themselves from getting hurt again. It could be a fear of love. Like, oh no, things are going too well, something bad is bound to happen. That kind of thing. It's like they are trying to self-sabotage their chance at happiness. And you know what? I'm also getting a sense that this conflict might be necessary in some way. Like maybe it's forcing them to confront some uncomfortable truths about themselves or about their relationships. Maybe it's pushing them to set clearer boundaries or to stand up for what they believe in, even if it's scary. Is this going to get ugly? Not necessarily. Like, think about it, Pyle. We had that judgment card, right? And judgment is all about facing the truth and letting go of the past. So maybe this conflict is a way of clearing out the old, making space for the new. Maybe it's a necessary step in their transformation, even if it's not pretty. I almost feel that the person from the beginning of the reading would not have handled this well, but they are doing a lot better now. But the thing is, the Five of Swords can also be a warning. It's like, hey, be careful how you handle this conflict. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Don't try to win at all costs. Because, like, you might win the battle, but you could lose the war. You know what I mean? It's so true. So how does this all connect back to the previous cards? Well, let's see. With the King of Cups, remember how we said that this person is really good at keeping their emotions in check. Maybe this conflict is forcing them to finally express their anger or their frustration, instead of just bottling it up. Maybe they're learning to be more assertive, to speak their mind without being afraid of hurting someone's feelings. That King of Cups energy can make people avoid confrontation, so maybe now they're learning to find a balance. And with the Moon, maybe this conflict is bringing some hidden issues to the surface. Maybe it's revealing some unconscious patterns that they need to address. It could be a chance for them to heal some old wounds and to move forward with more clarity and self-awareness. It's like the Moon is saying, okay, you can't hide from this anymore. It's time to deal with it. And with the King of Wands, maybe this conflict is a test of their leadership skills. Can they navigate this difficult situation with integrity and compassion? Can they inspire others to work together towards a common goal, even when they disagree? It's time to put their leadership to the test. Remember that King of Wands energy is about taking action, but it's also about leading with integrity. And with the Queen of Cups, maybe this conflict is showing them what they truly value in a relationship. Are they willing to compromise? Are they willing to forgive? Are they willing to put in the work to make things right? This is an important test for them. It's really going to show them who they are. It's like the Queen of Cups is asking, are you truly ready for this kind of love? Are you willing to face the challenges that come with it? And like, is this someone they even want in their life? Because not every relationship is worth fighting for, right? So what are the lessons that can be learned from the Five of Swords? I think there are a few. First, it's important to be mindful of your ego. Don't let your desire to be right or to win cloud your judgment. Try to see things from the other person's perspective and to find a solution that works for everyone. Easier said than done, I know, but it's so important. Second, it's important to communicate your needs and your feelings clearly and respectfully. Don't bottle things up or let resentment build. Express yourself in a way that's honest but also kind. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, but also don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Stand up for the Queen of Cups that you are. Third, it's important to set healthy boundaries. Don't let people take advantage of you or treat you disrespectfully. Know your worth and don't settle for anything less than you deserve. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to walk away from relationships that are toxic or draining. And fourth, it's important to forgive. Holding on to anger and resentment will only hurt you in the long run. Forgive yourself for your mistakes and forgive others for their mistakes. Let go of the past and focus on creating a better future. Forgiveness is not always easy, and it doesn't mean that you have to condone the other person's behavior. But it does mean that you're choosing to release yourself from the pain and the negativity. And how can they move forward in a healthy way? Well, I think it starts with self-care. This is a time to nurture themselves, to connect with their emotions, and to practice compassion. This is where the nurturing energy of the Labradorite dragon really comes into play. They need to take care of their physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. They need to get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, exercise, and spend time in nature. They need to meditate, journal, or do whatever helps them to connect with their inner selves. And they need to surround themselves with supportive and loving people. Also, the Labradorite dragon reminds me that even though they are strong, they can still have a support system. And remember, Pile, this is just one card in a larger reading. It doesn't mean that everything is falling apart or that they're doomed to failure. It just means that they're facing a challenge and they have the opportunity to learn and grow from it. It's a test of their strength, their resilience, and their commitment to unveiling their protected heart. This card is very in tune with the theme. The unveiling is not always easy. I think they have made a lot of progress but still fight with themselves. It's okay. It's all okay. So don't lose hope, Pile. This is not the end of the story. This is just a chapter. And who knows? Maybe this conflict will actually lead to something beautiful in the end. Maybe it will bring them closer to their true selves and closer to the kind of love they deserve. Just breathe, trust the process, and remember that you are not alone. We're all here to support you. It's like the universe is testing their strength, and I know they can handle it. Now, okay, I'm super curious what the final card is going to be. After this messy Five of Swords energy, what's the universe going to throw our way? Is it going to be a resolution, a reconciliation, or something completely unexpected? I'm on the edge of my seat. What's going to come of this conflict? What lessons will they learn? I'm dying to know. Let's find out. Okay, Pile, Labradorite dragon, let's bring this all home, shall we? I know, right? What a journey. We've been through it all together, haven't we? So let's recap like super quick. We started with this King of Cups, all emotionally guarded but with so much love to give. But then the Moon card showed us all the hidden fears and insecurities lurking beneath the surface. And then Judgment came along and shook things up, forcing them to face the truth and step into their power. Then we have the King of Wands. Action, courage, and that beautiful Queen of Cups, like yes, the reward of unveiling that heart. But then, bam, the Five of Swords shows up, throwing a wrench in the works, bringing conflict and challenges. It's like, oog, seriously. But now. We have the Four of Swords. Okay, so what does this mean? What is the universe trying to tell us here? Well, the Four of Swords in general is all about rest, recuperation, and reflection. It's like after all that chaos and conflict, it's time to take a break, to step back, and to just breathe. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've been through a lot. You've faced your fears, you've taken action, you've experienced some conflict, and you need to give yourself a break. Okay? And I know you're probably thinking, but I don't have time to rest. I have things to do, I have goals to achieve, I have people to impress. I get it, I totally get it. But trust me on this one. Rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't fight battles when you're exhausted. You know, like you just can't. So this is a time to prioritize self-care, to nurture your body, mind, and spirit, and to allow yourself to heal from all that you've been through. Remember that nurturing Labradorite dragon energy. It's so important right now. Think of it like this. You've been running a marathon, right? And you finally crossed the finish line. You're probably feeling exhausted, sore, and maybe even a little bit nauseous. The last thing you want to do is jump right into another race. You need to take some time to recover, to rehydrate, to stretch your muscles, and to just relax. The Four of Swords is like that recovery period. It's a time to give yourself permission to do absolutely nothing, to just be. You know, I know it's hard, but you deserve it. And honestly, you need it. So how does this connect to the Five of Swords? Well, I think the Four of Swords is the antidote to the conflict and stress that the Five of Swords represents. It's like, okay, you've been through this battle, you've experienced some loss, and you need to take some time to process what happened. It's a chance to reflect on your actions, to learn from your mistakes, and to forgive yourself and others. It is like going within and giving yourself time to heal. And you know what? The Four of Swords reminds me of something. A sword is a mental thing, so let's leave the mind for a bit. And remember that Queen of Cups energy. The Four of Swords is a chance to connect with your emotions, to feel your feelings, and to allow yourself to grieve whatever losses you've experienced. You know, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be disappointed. Don't try to suppress your emotions or pretend that everything is okay. Allow yourself to feel what you feel and then let it go. But then you're also being a King of Wands, right? Which means you have the power to change your life. That is wonderful. And with that King of Wands energy, let's not just stop everything. You are not just hiding away. Use that active energy to relax and heal. And the other thing about the Four of Swords is that it's not just about physical rest. It's also about mental and emotional rest. It's a time to disconnect from technology, to turn off the news, and to just quiet your mind. Meditate, take a walk in nature, read a book, or listen to music. Do whatever helps you to relax and distress. And think about that Labradorite dragon. When you are healing, you will be unveiling your truth. I just know it. And honestly, this is really important, right? It's so important. Because it's not just about resting, it's also about gaining clarity. It's about taking a step back so you can actually see the bigger picture. You've been so caught up in the details and the day-to-day drama that you've lost sight of what's truly important. The Four of Swords is a chance to reconnect with your values, to reassess your goals, and to figure out what you really want in life. What really truly makes you happy. But it is okay if you need to reevaluate. This is what this time is for. Okay, so what does this all mean in practical terms? How can you apply this to your own life? Well, I think there are a few things you can do. First, schedule some downtime. Seriously, put it on your calendar. Even if it's just for 15 minutes a day, make time for yourself to relax and recharge. And when you are resting, give yourself permission to really rest. Don't be checking your email or scrolling through social media. Be present in the moment and focus on your own well-being. Second, create a relaxing environment. Make your home a sanctuary, a place where you feel safe, comfortable, and at peace. Declutter, decorate with calming colors, and add some plants or flowers. And you know what? Put that Labradorite dragon somewhere you can see it. Somewhere where you'll be reminded of its nurturing energy. Third, practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and your sensations. Don't judge yourself or try to change anything. Just observe. This will help you to become more aware of your stress triggers and to develop coping mechanisms. Fourth, connect with your support system. Talk to your friends, your family, or a therapist. Share your feelings and ask for help. You don't have to go through this alone. People want to support you, so let them. And fifth, be patient with yourself. Healing takes time. Don't expect to feel better overnight. Just take it one day at a time and trust that you will eventually get there. And if you have a hard time with this, the Labradorite dragon is here to assist. So what's the overall message here? I think it's about trusting the process, about knowing that even after conflict and challenges, there is always an opportunity for rest, recovery, and renewal. It's about being kind to yourself, about nurturing your body, mind, and spirit, and about giving yourself permission to heal. It's like the universe is saying, I know you've been through a lot, but you're strong, you're resilient, and you're capable of overcoming anything. Just take a break, recharge, and then get back out there and shine your light. And I want to underline that. You're capable of overcoming anything. And remember that theme, right? Unveiling a protected heart. This Four of Swords is part of that process. It's about taking the time to heal those old wounds, to release those old fears, and to create space for new love, new joy, and new possibilities. It's about finally feeling safe enough to let down your guard and to show your true self to the world. And after all that you've been through, you deserve that. You truly, truly deserve that. So, Pile, Labradorite Dragon, that's where I'm going to leave your reading. I hope this resonated with you. I hope it gave you some clarity, some guidance, and some hope. And I hope you remember that you're not alone on this journey. We're all here to support you, and the universe is always on your side. Okay. I'm sending you so much love and light. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. And remember, rest, you deserve it. Hi, my friend. If you picked the turquoise cluster, welcome to your reading. This crystal is all about balancing, finding that equilibrium, and it really ties into our theme today. We're looking at bridging the inner and outer worlds, how someone's actions might be reflecting or concealing their true emotional state. So, let's dive into the cards and see what's going on. Okay, the first card we have is the Ace of Wands. Ooh, exciting. The Ace of Wands is all about new beginnings, right? Like that spark of inspiration, that initial burst of energy. So whatever is going on, there's definitely some fresh, new energy around this person and what they're feeling for you. It's that feeling of like, okay, I'm ready to start something new. I'm ready to jump into this. It's that initial excitement. Think of it like when you're starting a new project or when you first meet someone and you get that little flutter in your chest. That's the Ace of Wands energy. So, what could this mean? Well, maybe they're feeling a new surge of passion for you. Like something has reignited their interest, or maybe they're seeing you in a completely new light. Or it could be that they're ready to actually initiate something. Maybe they've been holding back or unsure, but now they're like, okay, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to make a move. You know, it's like they're grabbing that wand and being like, okay, universe, guide me. But here's the thing, because we have that theme of inner versus outer worlds, right? This Ace of Wands energy might be something they're feeling internally more than they're expressing externally. They might be feeling this excitement, this passion, this desire to start something new, but they might be a little hesitant to actually show it. Maybe they're scared, or maybe they're trying to play it cool, which, let's be honest, never really works, does it? It always backfires. Or you know what else it could be? Maybe they're already showing you this Ace of Wands energy, like they're being super enthusiastic and passionate, but internally they're actually feeling a little insecure or unsure. Like they're overcompensating a bit. They're really laying it on thick. It could be that too, right? Okay, so hold that thought. New beginnings, fresh energy, maybe a little bit of internal versus external conflict. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, next up is the Star. Oh, this is such a beautiful card. The Star is all about hope, healing, faith, and inspiration. It's like after a storm when you finally see that glimmer of light peeking through the clouds. So this is definitely influencing how they're seeing things. It's like even if things have been tough or uncertain, they're still holding on to hope for the future. They still believe that things can work out, that there's potential for something beautiful here, which is really good, right? We love to see it. The Star, it's like a guiding light, right? It's helping them to navigate through any darkness or confusion. So whatever they're feeling, whatever they're going through, they're trying to stay optimistic and positive. They're focusing on the potential for healing and growth. Maybe they've been hurt in the past, or maybe they've had some disappointments, but they're not letting that define them. They're choosing to believe in something better. This also kind of says they might see you as the Star. You bring them hope. Being around you is healing for them. You bring that lightness and freeness to their life. Now, how does this connect to the Ace of Wands? Well, maybe that new beginning, that spark of passion, is being fueled by this hope and faith. Like they're feeling excited about something new because they genuinely believe it has the potential to be something amazing. They're feeling like things could work out, finally. Or maybe they're feeling that Ace of Wands energy, but they're also a little scared, right? New beginnings can be scary. So the Star is helping them to stay grounded and trust that everything is going to be okay. It's reminding them to have faith, even when things get tough. It is helping them to stay positive. And remember our theme, the inner versus outer worlds. Maybe they're not outwardly expressing this hope and faith. Maybe they're putting on a brave face, but internally they're clinging to that little glimmer of light. They're not showing everyone how much they need that little glimmer. Or maybe they're being super optimistic and positive on the outside, but inside they're actually terrified. They're hoping that by projecting this image of hope and faith, they can actually manifest it into reality. Manifest it into reality. You know, the Star can also represent healing. So maybe they're feeling drawn to you because they see you as someone who can help them heal. Maybe they feel like you understand them on a deeper level, or that you can provide them with the support and love that they need. This is huge. This could totally be it. Or maybe they're hoping that they can be that healing presence for you. They see something in you that needs nurturing. This is a two-way street here. So they're really hoping to bring that to you too. Okay, so we have new beginnings, hope and faith, and now let's see what the Chariot brings to the table. The Chariot. This is a card of willpower, control, and success through determination. It's all about taking charge and moving forward, even when things are challenging. The Chariot is like, okay, I know what I want and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. So, this person is definitely feeling a strong desire to take control of the situation and steer things in the direction they want them to go. They're taking the reins. But here's where it gets interesting, right? Because the Chariot can also represent a struggle between opposing forces. It's like you have two horses pulling in different directions, and you have to find a way to balance them and move forward. So, maybe they're feeling torn between different desires or obligations. Maybe they want to pursue this new beginning with you, Ace of Wands, but they also have other responsibilities or commitments that are pulling them in another direction. It makes them feel torn. Or maybe the struggle is internal. Maybe they're battling their own fears and insecurities. They want to move forward, but they're also afraid of getting hurt or of failing. So they're trying to exert control over their emotions and their impulses, but it's not always easy. It's a constant battle. And how does this tie into the star? Well, maybe they're using their willpower and determination, the Chariot, to hold on to that hope and faith, the star. They know that things might be difficult, but they're not giving up. They're determined to create a positive outcome. They're determined to stay hopeful and faithful, even when it's hard. But also, the Chariot can be about control, right? And sometimes, when we try to control things too much, we end up pushing people away. So maybe they're trying so hard to steer this relationship in a certain direction that they're actually suffocating it. Or maybe they're trying to control their own emotions so much that they're coming across as cold or distant. That is a possibility. Remember our theme, inner versus outer worlds. This is where it gets really interesting, because the Chariot is all about projecting an image of strength and control. But what's really going on underneath the surface? Are they truly in control, or are they just putting on a show? Are they really as confident and determined as they seem, or are they actually feeling lost and insecure? This is really the question, isn't it? What's behind the mask? They might be showing you this Chariot energy, like they're being super assertive and decisive, but internally they're actually feeling really vulnerable and uncertain. They're using that control and determination to mask their true feelings. They're putting up a wall. They are afraid to show that vulnerability. Or, you know what else it could be? Maybe they're actually being really honest and open about their feelings, but internally they're struggling with this desire to control the situation. They want to let go and trust the process, but it's hard for them. It's really hard. They're trying, but maybe they're not succeeding. So let's recap, right? We have the Ace of Wands, new beginnings, passion, excitement. We have the Star, hope, faith, healing. And we have the Chariot, willpower, control, and the struggle between opposing forces. And it all ties back to this theme of bridging the inner and outer worlds. What are they truly feeling, and how are they expressing it? Or how are they not expressing it? They might be feeling a new spark of passion for you, but they're also scared and trying to control the situation. They're hoping for a positive outcome, but they're also battling their own fears and insecurities. They're projecting an image of strength and control, but underneath the surface they're feeling vulnerable and uncertain. It's all there. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you need to be aware of these different layers. You need to look beyond the surface and try to see what's really going on underneath. Don't just take their words at face value. Pay attention to their actions, their body language, their energy. Do they match what they're saying? And most importantly, be patient and compassionate. They might be going through a lot right now, and they might not be able to fully express their feelings. Give them the space and the support they need to work through their struggles. Be understanding. It's really what they need. Also, this is a good reminder for you to stay balanced, because if they're going through all of this internal conflict, it can definitely affect you. So make sure you're taking care of yourself, setting boundaries, and staying grounded in your own truth, because your crystal is turquoise and that's all about balance. So find your center. Okay, so that's the initial energy, wow. I feel like there's so much more to unpack here, so let's pull some more cards and really dive deeper into what's going on. What do you say? Okay, deep breaths, because here we go. The next card is the Ten of Swords. Oh my gosh, this looks intense. It's like not the card you want to see, right? 10 swords in the back, the figure lying down. But let's not panic, because we have to see how this fits in with everything else, okay? So the Ten of Swords in general is about endings, right? It's about hitting rock bottom. It's about feeling like everything is just completely falling apart. Like you've reached the absolute worst-case scenario. It's that feeling of total defeat, of utter devastation. You know, like when you feel like you've given it your all and it still wasn't enough, you know? It's brutal. But before you freak out, remember that endings can also be new beginnings, right? Sometimes things have to fall apart so that something better can come together. So this card, while it looks really, really bad, it can also signify a release. It can signify the end of a cycle. Like, okay, this is over. Time to move on. It's like the universe is saying, okay, honey, that's enough. You've learned your lesson. It's time to close this chapter and start a new one. Think of it as like a dramatic, necessary ending. It's the kind of ending that, even though it hurts like heck, you know deep down that it's for the best. So how does this connect with the Ace of Wands, the Star, and the Chariot? Well, maybe that new beginning Ace of Wands is coming to an end. Maybe that spark of passion has fizzled out. Or maybe they feel like they've completely messed things up and they've ruined their chances with you. That new beginning is over. It's done. It's like a dramatic flop in their mind. Oh no. Or you know what else it could be? Maybe they're realizing that they need to let go of something in order to fully embrace that new beginning. Maybe they're holding on to something from the past that's preventing them from moving forward. Something that they need to dramatically cut off from their life in order to fully give themselves to this fresh start. Like, they're carrying baggage, and the only way to move forward is to just, like, drop it. And then we have the Star, right? Hope, faith, and healing. So maybe this Ten of Swords is a test of their faith. Maybe they're going through a really tough time, but they're still trying to hold on to that hope. They're still trying to believe that things can get better. It's hard though, right? Really hard. It can be really hard to hold on to hope when you're lying face down with 10 swords in your back. But the Star is there, right? It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's still a glimmer of light. And it's up to them to find it. They have to really dig deep to find it, but it's there. Or maybe this ending is actually a blessing in disguise. Maybe it's clearing the way for something even better to come into their life. Maybe they think this is their rock bottom, but really it's the universe's way of saying, okay, sweetie, you deserve better than this. And it's removing something toxic or negative from their life so that they can finally be free to pursue their dreams. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we cling to things that are actually holding us back, and we don't even realize it. And the universe has to step in and be like, nope, not anymore. Time to let go. And then there's the Chariot, right? Willpower, control, and the struggle between opposing forces. So maybe this Ten of Swords is a result of them trying to control things too much. Maybe they've been so focused on steering this relationship in a certain direction that they've actually driven it off a cliff. They were trying so hard to control everything that they didn't even notice that they were headed for disaster. It's like their need for control actually backfired on them. Whoops. Or maybe they're realizing that they can't control everything. Maybe they're finally surrendering to the universe and accepting that things are going to happen the way they're meant to happen. Maybe they're letting go of that need for control and trusting that everything is going to be okay, even if it doesn't look like it right now. Letting go of control is so hard. It's like one of the hardest things for us to do as humans, you know? But it's also one of the most liberating. Okay, so how does this all tie into our theme of inner versus outer worlds? Oh, this is juicy. This is where it gets really interesting, right? Because the Ten of Swords is all about appearances, right? It looks like the end of the world. It looks like total and utter defeat. But what's really going on underneath the surface? Are they really as devastated as they seem, or are they putting on a show? Remember that mask. Maybe they're outwardly expressing this Ten of Swords energy. Like they're being super dramatic and woe is me, but internally they're actually feeling a sense of relief. They're like, okay, finally this is over. I can move on. They're secretly happy about it, but they're not letting anyone know because they don't want to look bad. They're playing the victim. Or maybe they're outwardly acting like everything is fine, but internally they're completely crushed. They're putting on a brave face, but inside they're screaming. They're trying to pretend like nothing's wrong, but they're secretly heartbroken. They're masters of disguise. They are. And remember how we were talking about you potentially being the star for them. Maybe they feel like they've disappointed you. Maybe they feel like they've let you down, and they're afraid that you're going to lose hope in them. They don't want to lose that light that you bring into their life. They're terrified of that. Or, you know what else it could be? Maybe they're projecting this Ten of Swords energy onto you. Maybe they're trying to make you feel bad for them so that you'll give them another chance. They're playing the sympathy card. Is that manipulative? Maybe. But it's also possible that they're just really hurting and they don't know how else to express it. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you need to be extra careful right now. You need to really pay attention to their behavior and try to see what's really going on underneath the surface. Don't just take their words at face value. Look at their actions. Look at their body language. Look at their energy. Does it all align? And most importantly, trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore those red flags. Don't try to convince yourself that everything is okay when it's not. Your gut is usually right. Also, it's really important for you to set boundaries right now. Because if they're going through all of this drama, it can be really easy to get sucked in. You might start feeling like you need to fix them, or rescue them, or make everything better. But that's not your job. Your job is to take care of yourself and to protect your own energy. So don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to create some distance. Don't be afraid to put your own needs first. It's not selfish to prioritize your own well-being. It's necessary, especially when you're dealing with someone who's going through a really tough time. Remember your turquoise crystal. It is all about balance. Maintain that balance. Don't let their drama throw you off kilter. Stay grounded. Stay centered. Stay true to yourself. Wow, okay, that was a lot. That was intense. The Ten of Swords definitely adds a whole new layer of complexity to this situation, right? We've got new beginnings, hope, struggles for control, and now dramatic endings. What a combo. So what's next? I'm dying to see what the next card is going to be. Okay, let's pull another one. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords. Oh gosh, this card. If the Ten of Swords is like the dramatic ending, the Nine of Swords is that, like, constant anxiety, you know? It's the worry, the sleepless nights, the feeling of dread, the what-ifs swirling around in your head. It's not necessarily a physical ending, but it's that mental anguish, that feeling of being trapped in your own thoughts, you know? Like, you're just lying there at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, just going over and over everything in your head. It's heavy. It's really heavy. So how does this fit in with everything else? That's the question, right? We got that Ace of Wands, the Star, the Chariot, and that dramatic Ten of Swords. So is this Nine of Swords, like, causing the Ten of Swords? Are they so anxious about this new beginning, this Ace of Wands, that they're, like, sabotaging themselves? Are they so worried about messing things up, about failing, that they're creating their own worst-case scenario? Is all of that anxiety, like, pushing them towards the Ten of Swords? Because anxiety can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If you're constantly expecting the worst, you're more likely to create that reality. Oh, that's a big thought right there, right? Or you know what? Maybe the Ten of Swords already happened, and the Nine of Swords is the result of that. Maybe they're still dealing with the aftermath of that ending. They're still processing the pain, the disappointment, the loss. They're replaying everything in their head, wondering what they could have done differently, you know? Like, the Ten of Swords was the dramatic stab in the back, and the Nine of Swords is the lingering ache, that throbbing pain that just won't go away. It's the PTSD of the heart, almost, you know? Oh man, that's rough. That is so rough. And what about the Star? How does this anxiety relate to their hope and faith? Are they losing hope? Are they starting to doubt that things can actually get better? Is that little glimmer of light starting to fade? Because anxiety can do that, right? It can cloud your vision. It can make you feel like you're drowning in negativity, you know? It makes you think that things will never get better. But the Star is still there, right? It's a reminder that even in the midst of all this anxiety, there's still a reason to believe. There's still a reason to have faith. They just have to find it. They have to hold on to it. They have to fight for it. It's so easy to let anxiety win. And then we have the Chariot, that willpower and control. Are they trying to control their anxiety? Are they trying to suppress their fears? Are they trying to put on a brave face and pretend like everything is okay? Because that's what the Chariot can do, right? It can be about masking your true feelings. It can be about trying to appear strong and in control, even when you're falling apart inside. But suppressing your emotions is never a good thing, right? It always backfires eventually. That anxiety is going to come out one way or another. It's going to manifest in other ways, like snapping at people, or isolating themselves, or just like being a total control freak, you know. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. It's a pressure cooker waiting to explode. Or maybe they're using their willpower to fight the anxiety. Maybe they're actively trying to manage their thoughts and their emotions. Maybe they're practicing mindfulness or meditation or talking to a therapist, you know. They are putting in the work. They are trying to take control of their mental health. They are using the Chariot energy in a positive way. But it's still a struggle, right? It's still a constant battle. Anxiety is a beast. It's not something you can just conquer overnight. It takes time and effort and patience. And a lot of self-compassion, too. You have to be kind to yourself when you're struggling with anxiety. You have to remind yourself that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to ask for help. Okay, so how does all of this tie into our theme of inner versus outer worlds? This is crucial, really, you know, because anxiety is often something that we hide, right? We don't want people to see us as weak or vulnerable or crazy, you know, so we put on a mask. We pretend like everything is fine, even when we're secretly panicking inside. And that's where the disconnect happens, right? That's where the inner and outer worlds become completely misaligned. We're projecting one image to the world, but we're feeling something completely different inside. Are they showing you this Nine of Swords energy? Are they being open and honest about their anxiety? Are they letting you see their vulnerability, or are they trying to hide it? Are they trying to pretend like everything is fine? Are they putting on a brave face? Because if they're hiding it, that's a red flag, right? That means they're not being authentic. That means they're not trusting you. That means they're not allowing you to see the real them. And that's not a good foundation for any relationship, right? You have to be able to be vulnerable with each other. You have to be able to share your struggles, your fears, your anxieties. Otherwise, it's just a superficial connection. It's not real. But maybe they're showing you their anxiety, but they're doing it in a way that's like overwhelming. Maybe they're constantly complaining or seeking reassurance or just like dumping all of their emotional baggage on you, you know? And that's not healthy either, right? You're not their therapist. You're not responsible for fixing their problems. You can be supportive, you can be compassionate, but you also have to protect your own energy. You have to set boundaries. You have to take care of yourself. It's crucial. And that brings us back to your turquoise crystal, right? Balancing. Balancing your own needs with the needs of others. Balancing your compassion with your boundaries. Balancing your hope with your realism. Balancing your inner world with your outer world. This is all about finding that equilibrium. This is all about finding that center. This is all about staying grounded in your truth. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you need to be extra aware of their anxiety. You need to be observant. You need to be patient. You need to be compassionate. But you also need to be honest with yourself about what you can handle. Don't take on their burdens. Don't try to fix them. Just be there for them. Listen to them. Support them, encourage them, but also take care of yourself. Set boundaries, prioritize your own well-being, and trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. Remember that this is not your fault. You are not responsible for their anxiety. You can't control their thoughts or their feelings. You can only control your own actions. So focus on what you can control. Focus on being the best version of yourself. Focus on creating a healthy and balanced relationship. And trust that everything is going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. The final card will probably bring this all home. Okay, deep breath. What is that final card going to be? I'm so curious. Let's pull it. Okay, here we go. The Fool. Oh my gosh, after all that intensity, we get the Fool. Isn't that interesting? So the Fool, right, it's that card of new beginnings, innocence, and taking a leap of faith. It's like Okay, universe, I'm ready for anything. But after all that we've just seen, after the Ace of Wands, the Star, the Chariot, that 10 of Swords, and that 9 of Swords, what does the Fool even mean in this context? Well, first thing that comes to mind is like a fresh start, right? Despite all the drama, despite all the anxiety, despite all the potential for things to just completely fall apart, the Fool is saying there's still an opportunity for a completely clean slate. Like it's a chance to just wipe everything clean and approach things with a sense of total innocence and optimism. You know, like forget about the past, forget about the worries, forget about the control, forget about all those swords sticking out of your back. Just take a deep breath and jump. But, is that a good idea? That's the question, right? Because the Fool can also be about, like, ignoring all the red flags and just blindly jumping into something new without even considering the consequences. Like, is this person just being naive? Are they overlooking all the potential problems? Are they just so desperate for a fresh start that they're not even paying attention to what's really going on? Remember that 9 of Swords? All that anxiety. Maybe they're so anxious to just escape all that overthinking, all that worry, that they're willing to do anything to get away from it, even if it means making a really bad decision. You know, like, sometimes we're so afraid of feeling pain that we'll just run headfirst into a brick wall just to avoid having to deal with our emotions. Or, you know what else it could be? Maybe the Fool is about trusting the universe, right? Like, surrendering to the unknown and having faith that everything is going to work out for the best, even if you don't have any idea where you're going. Maybe they're realizing that they can't control everything, despite that Chariot energy. Maybe they're letting go of that need for control and just trusting that the universe has their back. Like, okay, universe, I don't know where I'm going, but I trust that you're going to guide me. I'm just going to take this leap of faith and see what happens. But is that responsible? Is that smart? Is that like a recipe for disaster? Or is it the key to unlocking something amazing? It is hard to know, isn't it? And remember that Star card, all that hope and healing. Maybe the Fool is saying that even after all the pain and disappointment, there's still reason to believe in something better. There's still reason to have faith. There's still reason to hope for a positive outcome. You know, like, even if they've been stabbed in the back 1,000,000 times, they're still willing to open their heart and try again. But, is that just setting themselves up for more pain? Are they being unrealistic? Are they being delusional? Are they just refusing to learn from their mistakes? Oh gosh, this is so complicated. Or, you know what? Maybe the Fool is a call to integrate all of the past experiences, to take everything that's happened, the good and the bad, and use it as a foundation for moving forward. Like to learn from their mistakes and use that wisdom to create a better future. To not ignore the red flags, but to also not let the fear of getting hurt hold them back from taking a chance. Remember that Ace of Wands? That spark of new beginning. Maybe the Fool is about taking that spark of passion and turning it into something real, something lasting. But doing it in a way that's both exciting and responsible, both adventurous and grounded. You know, like, not just blindly jumping into something without thinking, but also not being so afraid of failure that they never even try. So, how does this all tie into our theme of bridging the inner and outer worlds? Oh, this is juicy. This is where it gets really interesting, right? Because the Fool is all about authenticity. It's about being true to yourself, about following your heart, about not being afraid to be different. But it's also about being aware of your surroundings, about being mindful of the consequences of your actions, about not being reckless or irresponsible. It's about finding that balance between being true to yourself and being a responsible member of society, which is turquoise all the way. Are they showing you this Fool energy? Are they being open and honest about their desires? Are they letting you see their vulnerabilities? Or are they trying to hide something? Are they putting on a show? Are they trying to be someone they're not? Maybe they're outwardly acting like the Fool, like they're being all carefree and spontaneous and adventurous, but internally they're actually terrified. They're putting on a brave face, but inside they're screaming. They're trying to pretend like everything is fine, but they're secretly panicking. Or maybe they're outwardly acting all cautious and responsible, but internally they're longing to break free. They're longing to take a risk. They're longing to just let go and have fun. They're suppressing their true desires, and it's eating them alive. You know, this is why it all comes back to balance. The Fool is not about being reckless and irresponsible, and it's also not about being afraid to take a chance. It's about finding that sweet spot in between. That place where you can be both true to yourself and responsible, both adventurous and grounded, both hopeful and realistic. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you need to be extra discerning right now. You need to really pay attention to their behavior and try to see what's really going on underneath the surface. Don't just take their words at face value. Look at their actions. Look at their body language. Look at their energy. Does it all align? And most importantly, trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore those red flags. Don't try to convince yourself that everything is okay when it's not. Your gut is usually right. Also, it's really important for you to set boundaries right now. Because if they're being the fool in a negative way, it can be really easy to get sucked in. You might start feeling like you need to rescue them, or fix them, or make everything better. But that's not your job. Your job is to take care of yourself and to protect your own energy. You are not responsible for their journey. So don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to create some distance. Don't be afraid to put your own needs first. It's not selfish to prioritize your own well-being. It's necessary. Remember your turquoise crystal. It is all about balance. Maintain that balance. Don't let their drama throw you off kilter. Stay grounded. Stay centered. Stay true to yourself. Wow, okay. The Fool definitely adds another layer of complexity to this whole situation. We've got new beginnings, hope, struggles for control, dramatic endings, anxiety, and now. The potential for a fresh start, but with a big question mark hanging over it. So what's next? I'm dying to see what the final card is going to be. Is it going to be a warning? Is it going to be a confirmation? Is it going to be a path forward? I have no idea. It's going to be a good one, that's for sure. Okay, one more card to pull and it will all make sense, probably. Okay, here we go. Okay, so, wow, here we go. The Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this page, he's usually depicted as someone young or new to something, right? And he's holding a pentacle, which is all about the material world, about resources, about security, about the tangible things in life. So, on the surface, this card is often about new opportunities related to finances, or career, or education. It's about starting something new that has the potential to bring long-term stability and success. But with everything else we've seen so far, this could be interesting. So let's connect this to the Ace of Wands. Remember that initial spark of passion, that new beginning. Well, the Page of Pentacles could be saying that they're finally ready to actually put that passion into action. Make it real, make it tangible. Like, they're no longer just dreaming about it. They're actually taking the first steps to make it happen. They're doing the work, you know. They're researching, they're planning, they're investing their time and energy. It's not just a fleeting idea anymore. It's something they're committed to building. Finally. But, is this commitment genuine? That's what I'm wondering, right? Because maybe they're just trying to distract themselves from all the emotional turmoil we've seen. Maybe they're throwing themselves into work or studies just to avoid dealing with their feelings. Like, oh, I'm too busy to think about all that heartbreak and anxiety. I've got a spreadsheet to fill out. And then we have the Star, right? That hope and healing. So, how does the Page of Pentacles fit in with that? Well, maybe they're seeing this new opportunity as a way to create a more stable and secure future for themselves. A future where they feel safe and supported. Maybe they believe that by focusing on their goals and building something tangible, they can finally heal from the past and create a better life for themselves. Like, if I just get this promotion, if I just finish this degree, then everything will be okay. But is that hope misplaced? Are they putting too much pressure on this new opportunity? Are they expecting it to magically solve all their problems? Because that's not realistic, right? You can't just rely on external things to make you happy. True healing comes from within. And what about the Chariot? That willpower and control. Are they trying to control their future by focusing on the material world? Are they trying to create a sense of security by accumulating resources and achieving success? Because that's what the Chariot can do, right? It can be about trying to control your environment, your circumstances, your destiny. But is that control an illusion? Are they just creating more stress and anxiety for themselves by trying to micromanage everything? Are they forgetting to just let go and trust the process? It is a huge question. Maybe they're throwing all their Chariot energy into this pentacle endeavor, hoping to control its success and thus control their happiness. Maybe they think success will bring them what the star promised. Okay, so now let's bring in those swords, right? The 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. Oof. This is where things get really interesting. So remember that 10 of Swords? That feeling of hitting rock bottom. Well, the Page of Pentacles could be a sign that they're finally starting to rebuild their life after that devastating ending. They're picking up the pieces, dusting themselves off, and taking the first steps towards recovery. They're like, okay, that was awful, but I'm not going to let it define me. I'm going to learn from my mistakes and create something better. They are channeling that phoenix energy, rising from the ashes. But, are they really learning from their mistakes? Are they just repeating the same patterns? Are they just jumping into another situation without really processing what happened? Because that's a danger, right? If you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it. And what about the 9 of Swords? That anxiety and worry. Is that still lurking in the background? Are they still plagued by doubts and fears? Are they still replaying everything in their head, wondering what they could have done differently? Because anxiety doesn't just disappear overnight. It can linger for a long time, casting a shadow over everything you do. Maybe they're trying to use this Page of Pentacles energy to soothe their anxiety. Maybe they think that by focusing on something tangible and practical, they can quiet those anxious thoughts. Like, if I just get my finances in order, if I just get my career on track, then I'll finally feel secure. But is that a temporary fix? Are they just masking their anxiety with work and achievement? Are they avoiding the real issues that need to be addressed? Because that's what anxiety does, right? It makes you want to run away from your problems. It makes you want to distract yourself with anything that will take your mind off your fears. Maybe the anxiety is so intense that they want to prove their worth through this pentacle. The 9 of Swords makes you feel worthless, and the pentacle is a symbol of worth. So maybe it's a mission to prove themselves. Okay, so now let's get to the heart of it, right? That theme of inner versus outer worlds. This is where it all comes together. So, are they truly embodying the qualities of the Page of Pentacles? Are they genuinely committed to building something stable and secure? Are they really learning from their past mistakes? Or are they just putting on a show? Are they just trying to project an image of success and competence to the outside world, while secretly feeling lost and insecure on the inside? Maybe they're outwardly acting all responsible and grounded, but internally they're still a mess. They're still struggling with anxiety, with self-doubt, with a lack of direction. They're just trying to fake it till they make it, which, let's be honest, sometimes works, but it's not a sustainable strategy in the long run. Or maybe they're outwardly acting all carefree and spontaneous, but internally they're actually craving stability and security. They're tired of living on the edge. They're tired of feeling like they're always one step away from disaster. They're longing for something solid, something reliable, something that will give them a sense of peace and comfort. And that's where the disconnect happens, right? That's where the inner and outer worlds become misaligned. They're projecting one image to the world, but they're feeling something completely different inside. They aren't being authentic, and that lack of authenticity is going to create problems down the road. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you need to be extra observant right now. You need to pay close attention to their behavior and try to discern their true intentions. Are they being genuine? Are they being honest with themselves and with you? Or are they just trying to put on a show? Trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore those red flags. Don't try to convince yourself that everything is okay when it's not. And remember your turquoise crystal. It is all about balance. And right now, they are not balanced. They are either overcompensating or they are suppressing their true feelings. They are not integrating their inner and outer worlds. and that's going to create problems for them and potentially for you. This Page of Pentacles is a call for them to get real with themselves, and it is a call for you to stay grounded and balanced as they figure things out. Because whatever is going on with them, it's going to affect you. So take care of yourself, set boundaries, and trust that everything is going to work out for the best, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Okay, Hugh, that was a lot. So I'm dying to know what's next. What's that final card going to be? Okay, so, where do we even begin after all of that, right? Seriously, what a journey. So we've seen, this person could be feeling this initial spark of passion for you, but also be, totally freaked out and trying to control everything. Or they could be feeling all this hope and faith, but then, bam, something happens and they're just completely devastated. Or, they could be acting all cool and collected on the outside, but inside they're just a tangled mess of anxiety and self-doubt. It's which is it, right? Who are these people? It's hard to know, I know. And then the Fool comes along and it's okay, fresh start. Let's just jump into this with no regard for the consequences. Which, can be amazing, but also, can be a total disaster, right? It's are they being brave or are they just being, completely oblivious? There's such a fine line, right? Such a fine line. So now we have this Page of Pentacles and it's okay, finally some grounding, some stability, some, actual, tangible effort. But even this card is, shrouded in mystery, right? Are they really ready to commit? Are they really ready to put in the work? Or are they just, using this as a distraction from all the drama and anxiety? It's the million-dollar question, right? Could this Page of Pentacles be them finally taking that Ace of Wands spark and actually nurturing it? Taking it seriously and making a real plan. Finally getting serious. Or are they, so desperate to avoid all those Nine of Swords feelings, the anxiety and the sleepless nights, that they're just throwing themselves into this project to avoid feeling anything at all? Just trying to keep busy, And what about that Star card? Are they hoping that this Page of Pentacles thing will, magically solve all their problems and bring them that hope and healing they're craving? Oh, if I just get this promotion, then everything will be okay. Is that what they're thinking? Or are they, genuinely trying to build a more secure future for themselves? A future where they feel safe and supported? Finally getting their stuff together. And the Chariot. Oh, the Chariot. Are they trying to control this Page of Pentacles situation? Are they trying to micromanage every little detail and make sure everything goes exactly according to plan? Or are they finally learning to let go and trust the process, trusting that the universe has their back? The Chariot can be a tricky card, can't it? And then, of course, we have those swords, the 10 and the 9. Are they, using this Page of Pentacles as a way to rebuild their life after that devastating 10 of Swords ending? Are they picking up the pieces and starting over like a phoenix rising from the ashes? Are they actually learning from their mistakes? I hope so. Or are they just repeating the same old patterns, doomed to make the same mistakes over and over again? And what about all that lingering 9 of Swords anxiety? Is that still lurking in the background, casting a shadow over everything they do? Are they trying to soothe their anxiety with this Page of Pentacles thing? Oh, if I just get my finances in order, then I'll finally feel secure. Is it just a temporary fix, or is it a genuine attempt to create lasting stability? I guess we'll see, huh? Okay, so, let's get real here, right? What's really going on? Are they being authentic? Are they being genuine? Or are they just putting on a show? Are they trying to project an image of success and competence to the outside world, while secretly feeling lost and insecure on the inside? That is the question. That is what you need to be asking yourself. Because, maybe they're outwardly acting all responsible and grounded, but internally they're still a mess, still struggling with anxiety and self-doubt and a lack of direction. They're just trying to fake it till they make it, And that's not a sustainable strategy in the long run, right? It's gotta catch up with you eventually. Or maybe they're outwardly acting all carefree and spontaneous, but internally they're actually craving stability and security. They're tired of living on the edge. They're tired of feeling like they're always one step away from disaster. They're longing for something solid, something reliable, something that will give them a sense of peace and comfort. But they're not showing it, are they? And that's where the disconnect happens, right? That's where the inner and outer worlds become misaligned. They're projecting one image to the world, but they're feeling something completely different inside. They're not being authentic, and that lack of authenticity is going to create problems down the road. I'm telling you. So what does this all mean for you, my friend? Well, it means that you need to be extra discerning right now, like super observant. You need to pay close attention to their behavior and try to discern their true intentions. Are they being genuine? Are they being honest with themselves and with you? Or are they just trying to put on a show? Trust your intuition. I can't say that enough. If something feels off, it probably is off. Don't ignore those red flags. Don't try to convince yourself that everything is okay when it's not. Your gut is usually right. Seriously, listen to it. And remember your turquoise crystal. It is all about balance. And right now, they are not balanced. They are either overcompensating or they are suppressing their true feelings. They are not integrating their inner and outer worlds. And that's going to create problems for them and potentially for you. This Page of Pentacles is a call for them to get real with themselves, and it is a call for you to stay grounded and balanced as they figure things out. Because whatever is going on with them, it's going to affect you. It's inevitable. So take care of yourself, set boundaries, and trust that everything is going to work out for the best, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Because even if they're a total mess, even if they're completely out of touch with their own feelings, you still have the power to create your own reality. You still have the power to make choices that are aligned with your highest good. Don't let their drama throw you off kilter. Don't let their anxiety infect you. Don't let their lack of authenticity pull you down. Stay true to yourself. Stay grounded in your own truth. And you know what? Maybe this Page of Pentacles thing will actually work out for them. Maybe they will finally find some stability and security. Maybe they will finally learn from their past mistakes. Maybe they will finally integrate their inner and outer worlds. Maybe. But even if it doesn't, that's okay. Because you're still going to be okay. You're still going to have your own life, your own goals, your own dreams. You don't need them to be happy. You don't need them to be fulfilled. You have everything you need inside of you. So go out there and create the life you want. Be authentic. Be genuine. Be true to yourself. And don't be afraid to take a leap of faith, but also don't be afraid to set boundaries and protect your own energy. You got this. I believe in you. And remember, your turquoise crystal is there to help you find that balance, to help you stay grounded, to help you connect with your own inner truth. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. And trust that everything is going to be okay. You are amazing, you are strong, and you are worthy of love and happiness. Don't ever forget that, okay? Okay, now go rock your world. And come back and tell me all about it. I'm so excited for you. Okay, so with the black obsidian point, we're talking about harmonizing energies and really cutting through the illusions, right? Like seeing things for what they actually are, not just what we think they are. This is about getting to the raw truth, beneath all the surface level stuff, which, hello, is exactly what we're doing today. So let's dive into these cards. The first one we have is the Page of Swords, and oh my gosh, this is so interesting. The Page of Swords is all about new ideas, new ways of thinking, and being really curious. This is that energy of ooh, what's that? And wanting to investigate everything. Okay, so immediately what comes to mind is this person, the person we're reading about, they're in a space of new information coming to light. Maybe it's something they didn't know before, or maybe it's a different perspective on something they thought they knew. You know how that is, when you suddenly see something in a completely different light. Yeah, it's like that. But the thing with the Page of Swords is that it's not always the full picture. It's that initial spark of curiosity, that first little inkling that something is up. So this could be them just starting to question things, maybe doing a little bit of digging, seeing what they can uncover. Or heck, maybe someone brought something to their attention, like some juicy gossip or something, right? And swords, being the suit of air, is all about communication and intellect. So this information probably came to them through words, whether it was a conversation, a text message, an email, or maybe even something they read online. Who knows? But it's definitely something that got them thinking, like, okay, this is interesting. Tell me more. Now, the Page of Swords can sometimes be a little bit scattered, like they have all these ideas buzzing around in their head, but they haven't quite figured out what to do with them yet. So this person might be feeling a little bit confused or uncertain, like they're trying to piece together a puzzle and they're missing a few pieces. But the important thing is that they're open to new possibilities. They're not just shutting down and saying, "Nope, I don't believe it." They're willing to entertain different ideas and see where they lead, which honestly is a really good sign. It shows that they're willing to grow and learn, and that they're not stuck in their old ways of thinking. Okay, so let's say, for example, that this person has been in a relationship for a while, and suddenly they start to suspect that their partner might be hiding something. The Page of Swords energy could be them noticing little clues, like their partner being secretive with their phone or acting differently than usual. And they're like, okay, something's not right here. I need to figure out what's going on. Or maybe it's something at work. Maybe they hear a rumor about layoffs or a potential merger, and they start to wonder about their job security. They might start asking questions, doing some research, trying to get a sense of what's really happening behind the scenes. The key here is that the Page of Swords is about seeking the truth. It's about not being afraid to ask questions and challenge assumptions. It's about being willing to look beneath the surface and see what's really going on. Which, totally aligns with the black obsidian, right? Cutting through the illusion. But here's the thing. The Page of Swords can also be a little bit impulsive. Like, they can get so caught up in their own ideas that they don't always think things through before they act. So this person might be tempted to jump to conclusions or make rash decisions based on the information they're getting. That's why it's important for them to stay grounded and remember to get all the facts before they do anything drastic. Don't go accusing your partner of cheating just because you saw them texting someone late at night. Maybe it was just their mom. Haha. Okay, so that's the Page of Swords. New ideas, curiosity, seeking the truth, but also a little bit of impulsiveness. Now, let's move on to the next card, which is the King of Wands. Oh, this is getting really interesting. The King of Wands is like the ultimate leader. He's confident, passionate, and inspiring. He knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to go after it. This is that energy of I've got this, I can do anything. So, seeing this card after the Page of Swords, it's like, okay, this person is taking that initial curiosity and turning it into action. They're not just sitting around wondering what's going on. They're actually doing something about it. They're taking charge of the situation and making things happen. Wands, being the suit of fire, is all about passion, creativity, and energy. So this person is feeling really fired up and motivated. They have a strong sense of purpose, and they're ready to tackle whatever challenges come their way. They're not afraid to take risks, and they're confident in their ability to succeed. Now the King of Wands is a king, so he's not just running around willy-nilly. He's got a plan. He's strategic and decisive. He knows how to delegate and inspire others to follow his lead. He's a natural-born leader, and people are drawn to his energy. So this could mean that this person is stepping into a leadership role in some area of their life. Maybe they're taking on a new project at work, or maybe they're starting their own business. Or maybe they're just taking charge of their own life and making decisions that are in their best interest. Going back to the relationship example, maybe after doing some digging, the person with the Page of Swords energy decides that they need to have a serious conversation with their partner. They're not just going to let things slide. They're going to stand up for themselves and demand honesty and respect. That's King of Wands energy right there. Or, if it's the work situation, maybe they decide to start looking for a new job, or maybe they decide to confront their boss about the rumors they've been hearing. Whatever it is, they're not going to sit back and wait for things to happen. They're going to take control of the situation and make their own destiny. The King of Wands is also really good at inspiring others. He's charismatic and persuasive, and he knows how to get people on board with his ideas. So this person might be influencing others in some way, whether it's at work, in their community, or even in their own family. But here's the thing. The King of Wands can sometimes be a little bit domineering, like he can get so caught up in his own vision that he doesn't always listen to other people's opinions. So this person needs to be careful not to become too bossy or controlling. They need to remember to listen to others and consider their perspectives. Even though they're feeling confident and powerful, they still need to be open to feedback and willing to compromise. Because sometimes the best ideas come from unexpected places. Okay, so that's the King of Wands. Leadership, passion, confidence, but also a little bit of a tendency to be domineering. And now, drumroll please. The final card is Death. Whoa. Okay, don't freak out. Death is not necessarily a bad card. In fact, it's often a really good card. Death is all about transformation, endings, and new beginnings. It's about letting go of what's no longer serving you and making space for something new to come into your life. So seeing this card after the Page of Swords and the King of Wands, it's like, okay, this person has gone through a major shift in perspective. They've taken decisive action, and now they're ready to let go of the past and move on to something new. This is like the ultimate level up. Death is a powerful card, and it signifies a major turning point in this person's life. Something is ending, and something new is beginning. It's like a chapter is closing, and a new one is opening. Now, this ending might be painful or difficult. It might involve letting go of something that they've held on to for a long time, like a relationship, a job, or even just an old way of thinking. But the important thing is that this ending is necessary for their growth and evolution. Sometimes we hold on to things because we're afraid of change, even if those things are actually holding us back. Death is about facing those fears and realizing that sometimes the best thing we can do is let go. So going back to our examples, maybe the person in the relationship finally decides to end things with their partner after realizing that they're not being treated with the respect they deserve. It might be a painful decision, but it's ultimately the right one for them. Or maybe the person at work decides to quit their job and pursue a new career path that's more aligned with their passions and values. It might be scary to leave the security of their old job, but it's also incredibly liberating. Death is also about clearing out the old to make way for the new. It's like decluttering your house. You have to get rid of the stuff you don't need anymore so you can make room for the things you do need. So this person might be going through a period of purging. They might be getting rid of old possessions, ending toxic relationships, or just letting go of negative thoughts and beliefs. Whatever it is, they're creating space for new opportunities and experiences to come into their life. But here's the thing, death is not just about endings. It's also about beginnings. It's about rebirth and renewal. It's about realizing that every ending is also a new beginning. So even though this person might be going through a difficult time, they can also look forward to a brighter future. They're on the verge of something new and exciting, and they have the power to create the life they truly want. After ending that toxic relationship, they might meet someone new who's actually good for them. Or, after quitting that dead-end job, they might find a career that's fulfilling and rewarding. The possibilities are endless. Death is also about transformation. It's about becoming a better version of yourself. It's about learning from your mistakes and growing as a person. So this person is going through a period of intense personal growth. They're learning a lot about themselves, and they're becoming more confident, resilient, and authentic. They're shedding their old skin and emerging as a new, improved version of themselves. Okay, so that's death. Endings, new beginnings, transformation, and rebirth. And wow, these three cards together, the Page of Swords, the King of Wands, and death. It's like this person is going on a journey of self-discovery, transformation, and empowerment. And aligning it all with black obsidian, they're not just transforming, they're doing so from a place of truth, which is so powerful. They're starting out with curiosity and a desire to learn. They're taking decisive action and stepping into their power, and they're letting go of the past and embracing a new future. This is a really, really powerful combination, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so, where were we? Oh yeah, this person is going on a total journey. So, after that huge transformation, we have Judgment. Oh my gosh. Okay, so first of all, Judgment is a major arcana card, which means it's a big deal. This isn't just some little everyday thing. This is a life-changing moment. And Judgment is all about, awakening. It's about hearing the call. It's about, realizing who you really are and what you're meant to do in this world. It's like the universe is tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Hey, wake up, it's time." And you can't ignore it anymore, you know. You've been hearing this little voice inside you for a while, but now it's getting louder and louder, and you finally have to pay attention. And it's not just about, hearing the call, it's about answering it. It's about taking action and stepping into your true purpose. It's about, shedding all the old layers of BS and, finally being yourself, you know. Authentically yourself. And that can be scary because, what if people don't like the real you? But, that's not the point. The point is that you have to be true to yourself no matter what. Because, that's the only way you're ever going to be truly happy. And you know, the thing about Judgment is that it's not always easy. Sometimes answering the call means making big changes in your life. It might mean leaving a relationship, or quitting a job, or moving to a new city, or starting a whole new career, or going back to school, or who knows what. But whatever it is, it's going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone and take a leap of faith. And that can be terrifying, right? But the universe doesn't call you to something that you're not ready for. If you're hearing the call, it means you have everything you need to answer it. You have the strength, you have the courage, you have the skills, you have the support. You just have to believe in yourself and trust that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. And I know that's easier said than done, but seriously, you got this. And think about it. We're talking about cutting through illusions, right? With the black obsidian, that is the theme of this whole reading. So it's this Judgment card is amplified even more because it's about seeing the truth. And the truth is that you are capable of so much more than you think you are. Okay, so let's connect this to the other cards, right? So we had the Page of Swords, which was all about curiosity and seeking the truth. And then we had the King of Wands, which was all about taking action and stepping into your power. And then we had Death, which was all about transformation and letting go of the old. So, this Judgment card is the culmination of all of that. It's the Page of Swords sparked your curiosity and made you start questioning things. And then the King of Wands gave you the courage to take action and make changes. And then Death helped you release the past and make space for the new. And now, with Judgment, you're finally ready to step into your true calling. You're finally ready to be who you're meant to be. And it's all connected. It's all part of the same journey, you know. It's the universe was guiding you all along the way, even when you didn't realize it. And think about it, this person was curious, right? They wanted to know the truth. The Page of Swords energy was something's not right here. I need to investigate. And then the King of Wands came along and was okay, I'm going to take charge of this situation. I'm going to find out what's going on. And then Death came in and was all right, time to let go of all the crap that's holding you back. And now Judgment is okay, you've done all the work. Now it's time to reap the rewards. It's time to step into your destiny. And that's so powerful. It's this person has been through a lot, but they've come out stronger and wiser and more aligned with their true selves. And that's something to celebrate. So what does this mean for this person specifically? What is their call? What are they being asked to do? Well, that's going to depend on their individual situation, right? But in general, it means that they're being called to step into their power and use their gifts to make a difference in the world. It means they're being called to live a life that's aligned with their values and their passions. It means they're being called to be a light for others and to inspire them to live their best lives. And that can take many different forms. maybe they're being called to start their own business and create something amazing. Or maybe they're being called to become a teacher or a mentor and share their knowledge with others. Or maybe they're being called to become an activist or an advocate and fight for what they believe in. Or maybe they're just being called to be a better friend, a better partner, a better parent, a better human being. Like, it doesn't have to be something huge and dramatic. It can be something small and simple. But whatever it is, it's going to be something that makes a positive impact on the world. And the thing about judgment is that it's not just about, finding your purpose, it's about living it. It's about taking action and making a difference. It's about, walking your talk and being a living example of what you believe in. And, that can be challenging because, sometimes it's easier to just sit on the sidelines and complain about things. But, that's not what you're being called to do. You're being called to step up and be a leader. You're being called to be a change maker. You're being called to be a force for good in the world. And that's a big responsibility, but it's also a huge opportunity. It's an opportunity to make a real difference in the lives of others. It's an opportunity to create a better world for future generations. It's an opportunity to leave a legacy that you can be proud of. And that's something worth striving for. So what are the potential challenges and rewards of this new path? Well, the biggest challenge is probably going to be fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. It's natural to be scared when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But you can't let fear hold you back. You have to face it head on and push through it. And the best way to do that is to focus on your why. Why are you doing this? What's your motivation? What's your purpose? When you're clear on your why, it's easier to overcome your fears and stay focused on your goals. And another challenge is going to be resistance. You're going to encounter people who don't understand your vision or who try to discourage you from pursuing your dreams. They might tell you that you're being unrealistic or that you're wasting your time. But you can't let them get to you. You have to believe in yourself and your vision, even when no one else does. And surround yourself with people who support you and encourage you. People who believe in you and who want to see you succeed. And the rewards of this new path are going to be amazing. You're going to experience a sense of fulfillment and purpose that you've never felt before. You're going to make a positive impact on the world. You're going to create a life that you love. And that's worth all the challenges and sacrifices, you know. And so it's this judgment card, it's a call to action, a call to step into your true self. And the black obsidian is there to make sure that you're doing it from a place of truth, not from some false pretense or some, ego-driven place. So it's really about aligning with your highest self and living your purpose. So what's next? What's the next step on this journey? I'm so excited to see what the next card is, because this is just the beginning. Okay, so what's next? What's the next step on this journey? I'm so excited to see what the next card is, because this is just the beginning. And oh wow, the 5 of Swords. Okay, that's interesting, right? After all that amazing, powerful energy, this card is definitely throwing me for a loop here. The 5 of Swords, it's not exactly a party, you know. When you look at this card, you see this figure standing there, and they've got this smirk on their face, and they're holding these swords, right? And then in the background, you see other people walking away, defeated. There's this vibe of conflict and victory, but it's a hollow victory, you know? It's not a win-win situation. It's more someone won at someone else's expense. And that's the key here, right? After all that talk about truth and alignment and stepping into your power, this card is a big question mark. Is this person going to stay on that high road? Or are they going to get dragged down into some kind of petty conflict? Because the 5 of Swords, it's all about conflict, right? But it's not just any kind of conflict. It's the kind of conflict that leaves everyone feeling icky. You know, the kind of conflict where even if you win, you still lose something in the process. It's a Pyrrhic victory. And after all that amazing energy we've seen so far, I'm genuinely surprised. After all that talk about transformation and stepping into their power, this card feels almost like a setback. Like, is this person going to fall back into old patterns? Are they going to get caught up in some kind of drama? Are they going to, like, compromise their values in order to win some kind of argument? Because, like, that's the temptation with the Five of Swords, right? It's like the temptation to, like, prove yourself right, even if it means hurting someone else in the process. It's the temptation to, like, get the upper hand, even if it means stooping to their level. And, like, that's so not in alignment with everything else we've seen so far. So, like, what's going on here? What does this card mean in the context of this reading? Well, like, one possibility is that this person is facing some opposition as they step into their power, right? Like, as they start to, like, answer their call and live their truth, there might be people who don't like it. There might be people who feel threatened by their confidence or who try to bring them down. And, like, the Five of Swords could be representing those people, right? The people who are trying to, like, undermine them or sabotage their efforts. And, like, in that case, this card is a warning to be careful about who you trust and to not let other people's negativity get to you. You know, like, you can't control what other people do, but you can control how you react to it. And, like, if someone's trying to drag you down, the best thing you can do is to just, like, rise above it and keep moving forward. Don't engage in their drama. Don't let them bait you into an argument. Just, like, stay focused on your goals and keep doing your thing. Or, like, another possibility is that this person is tempted to take the easy way out, even if it means compromising their values, right? Like, maybe they're facing a difficult situation, and they see an opportunity to, like, get ahead by, like, cutting corners or, like, manipulating someone else. And, like, the Five of Swords could be representing that temptation, right? The temptation to, like, sacrifice your integrity in order to get what you want. And, like, in that case, this card is a warning to stay true to yourself and to not compromise your values no matter what. You know, like, it might be tempting to take the easy way out, but in the long run, it's never worth it. Because, like, if you compromise your values, you're going to lose something much more valuable than whatever you were trying to gain. You're going to lose your self-respect. You're going to lose your integrity. And, like, that's something you can never get back. So, like, always choose the high road, even when it's difficult. Always stay true to yourself, even when it's unpopular. And, like, still another possibility is that this card is about dealing with the fallout from past conflicts. Like, maybe this person has been involved in some kind of argument or disagreement, and now they're dealing with the consequences. And, like, the Five of Swords could be representing those consequences, right? The feelings of resentment, the feelings of anger, the feelings of guilt. And, like, in that case, this card is a call to, like, forgive yourself and forgive others. You know, like, holding on to grudges is only going to hurt you in the long run. It's going to keep you stuck in the past and prevent you from moving forward. So, like, let go of the anger, let go of the resentment, let go of the guilt, and, like, move on. Forgive yourself for whatever mistakes you made, and forgive others for whatever they did to you. Because, like, forgiveness is the only way to truly heal and move forward. But, like, whatever the specific situation, the Five of Swords is always a reminder that conflict is a part of life, right? Like, we can't avoid it, but we can choose how we respond to it. We can choose to engage in petty arguments and try to win at someone else's expense, or we can choose to rise above it and focus on finding solutions that benefit everyone involved. And, like, that's the key here, right? It's about choosing to be a peacemaker rather than a conflict seeker. It's about choosing to find common ground rather than focusing on differences. It's about choosing to be a force for good in the world, even when it's difficult. So it's like, maybe this person is going to be tested, right? Like, the universe is going to throw some challenges their way to see if they're really committed to their new path. Like, are they really going to stay true to their values, or are they going to get tempted to, like, compromise themselves in some way? And, like, that's where the black obsidian comes in, right? Because, like, the black obsidian is all about cutting through illusions and seeing the truth. And, like, in this situation, the truth is that, like, compromising your values is never worth it. The truth is that, like, engaging in petty conflict is only going to drain your energy and prevent you from achieving your goals. And the truth is that, like, forgiveness is the only way to truly heal and move forward. So, like, if this person can stay connected to that truth, they'll be able to navigate this challenge with grace and integrity. And like, the black obsidian is also about harmonizing energies, right? And like in this situation, that means finding a way to, like, balance your own needs with the needs of others. It means finding a way to, like, assert yourself without being aggressive or domineering. It means finding a way to, like, stand up for what you believe in without, like, alienating the people around you. And like, that's a delicate balance to strike, but it's possible. You just have to be mindful and intentional about your actions. So, like, this person really needs to stay grounded, stay connected to their truth, and remember what's really important to them. Like, don't get distracted by the drama, don't get caught up in the negativity, and don't compromise your values. Just stay focused on your goals and keep moving forward. Okay, so, like, will this person overcome this challenge and stay on their path? Or will they succumb to the temptation of the Five of Swords and get dragged down into some kind of conflict? I have no idea. But I am, like, so excited to see what the next card is. Because, like, that's going to tell us everything. Okay, so, like, will this person overcome this challenge and stay on their path? Or will they succumb to the temptation of the Five of Swords and get dragged down into some kind of conflict? I have no idea. But I am, like, so excited to see what the next card is. Because, like, that's going to tell us everything. And, oh my freaking gosh, it's the Tower. The Tower, are you kidding me right now? Okay, so, like, after all that build-up, after all that talk about potential conflict and staying true to yourself, bam! The Tower just comes in and blows everything up. Okay, so, like, for those who don't know, the Tower is, like, a really intense card, right? Like, it's all about sudden change, unexpected upheaval, and, like, things falling apart. It's like you're standing there, thinking everything's fine, and then, boom, lightning strikes and your whole world comes crashing down. So this is not a subtle energy, you know? This isn't like a gentle nudge from the universe. This is a full-on, get your attention kind of moment. And, like, it's often associated with, like, chaos, destruction, and, like, things just completely falling apart. But, like, the important thing to remember about the Tower is that it's not always a bad thing, you know? Like, even though it can be really scary and disruptive, it's often necessary. It's like, sometimes you need to tear down the old structures in order to build something new and better. And, like, that's what the Tower is all about. It's about, like, shaking things up and forcing you to let go of what's no longer serving you. So, like, what does this mean in the context of this reading? Well, like, remember how we were talking about the Five of Swords and the potential for conflict and the temptation to compromise? It's like the Tower is saying, forget all that. We're not even going to deal with that petty stuff. We're just going to blow the whole thing up and start over. You know. It's like whatever this person was clinging to, whatever false sense of security they had, it's all about to be shattered. And, like, that can be really scary, right? But it can also be incredibly liberating. Because, like, sometimes we hold onto things for too long, even when they're hurting us. We stay in bad relationships, we stay in dead-end jobs, we stay in toxic situations because we're afraid of change. But the Tower is like, nope, not anymore. We're not going to let you stay stuck in this anymore. We're going to force you to let go and move on. And, like, that can be really painful, but it's ultimately for the best. Like, this could be a sudden job loss, an unexpected breakup, or even just a major shift in perspective that completely changes the way they see the world. Like, remember that Judgment card? The call to awaken. It's like the Tower is the universe's way of making sure they answer that call, even if they're resisting it. It's like, okay, you didn't listen the first time, so now we're going to make it impossible for you to ignore. And, like, it's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it in the end. So, like, let's think about some specific examples, right? Like, let's say this person is in a relationship that's been, like, slowly dying for a long time, but they've been too afraid to end it. The Tower could come in and, like, completely blow that relationship apart. Like, maybe their partner suddenly leaves them, Or maybe they discover some shocking secret that makes it impossible for them to stay together. And that would be really painful, right? But it would also be a huge wake-up call. It would force them to finally deal with the issues that they've been avoiding for so long. And it would open them up to the possibility of finding a relationship that's actually healthy and fulfilling. Or let's say this person is stuck in a job that they hate, but they've been too afraid to quit. The Tower could come in and completely shake up their career. Maybe their company suddenly goes bankrupt, or maybe they get laid off unexpectedly. And that would be really stressful, right? But it would also force them to finally pursue their passions and find a career that they actually love. And the thing about the Tower is that it often reveals hidden truths, right? It shines a light on the things that have been lurking in the shadows and forces you to confront them. And that can be really uncomfortable, but it's also necessary for growth. It's you can't heal if you don't know what's broken. And the Tower is okay, here's what's broken. Now deal with it. So this could be a time of major revelations and unexpected insights. This person might suddenly realize that they've been living a lie, or that they've been making choices that are not in alignment with their true selves. And that can be really disorienting, but it's also an opportunity to course correct and start living a more authentic life. And remember the black obsidian? That's still in play here. And the black obsidian is all about cutting through illusions and seeing the truth. So even though the Tower can be really chaotic and disorienting, the black obsidian is there to help this person stay grounded and see things clearly. It's the black obsidian is saying, okay, things are falling apart, but don't panic. Just focus on the truth and trust that everything is happening for a reason. So how can this person navigate this Tower energy in a healthy way? Well, the first thing is to surrender to the change, right? Don't try to resist it or fight it. Because the more you resist, the more painful it's going to be. Just accept that things are changing and trust that the universe has your back. And the second thing is to focus on what you can control, right? You can't control the external events that are happening, but you can control how you respond to them. You can control your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So focus on staying positive, taking care of yourself, and making healthy choices. And the third thing is to ask for help, right? Don't try to go through this alone. Reach out to your friends, your family, your therapist, your spiritual advisor, or whoever you trust. And let them support you and guide you through this difficult time. And the thing about the Tower is that it's always followed by a period of rebuilding, right? After the destruction comes the opportunity to create something new and better. So even though this person might be going through a really tough time right now, they can also look forward to a brighter future. They have the opportunity to rebuild their life on a stronger foundation, to create a life that's more authentic, more fulfilling, and more aligned with their true selves. But okay, let's be real, the Tower is scary. Nobody wants their life to be turned upside down. So it's natural to feel fear and resistance when this card comes up. But it's important to remember that fear is just a feeling, right? It's not a fact, and you don't have to let it control you. You can acknowledge your fear, but then choose to move forward anyway. And the best way to overcome fear is to focus on your why, right? Why are you doing this? What's your motivation? What's your purpose? When you're clear on your why, it's easier to overcome your fears and stay focused on your goals. And it's also important to remember that the universe is not punishing you, right? The Tower is not some kind of cosmic punishment. It's just a way of clearing out the old to make way for the new. It's the universe is saying, okay, you're not living up to your full potential, so we're going to shake things up a bit to get you back on track. And that can be really hard to accept, but it's ultimately a sign of love, right? It's a sign that the universe cares about you and wants you to be happy. So what's the final outcome of all this going to be? Is this person going to be able to navigate this Tower energy and come out stronger on the other side? Or are they going to get crushed by the destruction and lose their way? Well, I have no idea. But I am, so excited to see what the final card is. Because, that's going to tell us everything. Is this the beginning of a whole new chapter? Or is this just a temporary setback? Only the next card will reveal the truth. Okay, so, what's the final outcome of all this going to be? Is this person going to be able to navigate this tower energy and come out stronger on the other side? Or are they going to get crushed by the destruction and lose their way? Well, I have no idea. But I am, so excited to see what the final card is. Because, that's going to tell us everything. Is this the beginning of a whole new chapter? Or is this just a temporary setback? Only the next card will reveal the truth. And it's the Page of Wands. Oh my gosh, okay, so after all of that, we get the Page of Wands. Okay, that's actually really, really interesting. So, remember how the tower was all about destruction and chaos and, everything falling apart? Well, the Page of Wands is, the complete opposite of that. It's after the storm, there's a rainbow. It's after the fire, there's new growth. Because the Page of Wands, it's all about new beginnings, new ideas, and, a fresh burst of energy. It's this person has gone through this crazy, intense transformation, and now they're ready to, start over with a clean slate, And, it's not just any kind of new beginning, it's a new beginning filled with passion and excitement and, a sense of adventure. Because wands, being the suit of fire, it's all about passion, creativity, and inspiration. So this person is feeling, super motivated and enthusiastic about the future. They're okay, the old is gone, now I get to create something new and amazing. It's they've been given this incredible opportunity to, reinvent themselves and to, build a life that's truly aligned with their passions and their values. And, the Page of Wands is all about embracing that opportunity with open arms. It's yes, I'm ready for this, let's do it. But here's the thing about pages, right? They're young, they're inexperienced, and sometimes they can be a little bit naive. So, this person might be feeling super excited and optimistic, but they might also be a little bit unsure of themselves. They might be okay, I have all these great ideas, but how do I actually make them happen? And that's where the challenge comes in. Because, the Page of Wands is not just about having great ideas, it's about actually putting those ideas into action. It's about, taking that initial spark of inspiration and turning it into something real and tangible. And that can be hard work. It requires focus, dedication, and a willingness to, learn and grow along the way. So, this person needs to be careful not to get too caught up in the excitement and enthusiasm and forget to, actually plan things out and take practical steps. It's don't just run off and quit your job without having a backup plan. Don't just jump into a new relationship without getting to know the person first. Because, that's the danger of the Page of Wands, right? It can be a little bit impulsive and a little bit reckless. It's I want it now, I'm going to do it now. And that can lead to mistakes and, disappointment. So, this person needs to find a balance between, embracing their enthusiasm and, staying grounded and practical. It's use that fire to fuel your dreams, but don't let it burn out of control. And, think back to the other cards, right? We had the Page of Swords, which was all about curiosity and seeking knowledge. And then we had the King of Wands, which was all about leadership and taking action. And then we had Death, which was all about transformation and letting go. And then we had Judgment, which was all about awakening and answering your call. And then we had the Five of Swords, which was all about conflict and challenges. And then we had the Tower, which was all about destruction and upheaval. So, the Page of Wands is kind of the culmination of all of those energies, right? It's this person has gone through this whole process of, learning, growing, transforming, and overcoming challenges. And now they're finally ready to, start something new, something that's truly aligned with their passions and their purpose. And, that's so exciting. It's they've earned this fresh start. They've worked hard, they've learned a lot, and now they get to, create the life they've always dreamed of. But, it's not just going to be handed to them on a silver platter, right? They still have to put in the work. They still have to stay focused and dedicated. and they still have to be careful not to let their enthusiasm get the better of them. So, like, what does this mean in practical terms? Like, what kind of new beginnings are we talking about here? Well, it could be anything. It could be a new job, a new relationship, a new hobby, a new creative project, a new spiritual path. Like, the possibilities are endless. But whatever it is, it's going to be something that, like, really excites this person and makes them feel alive. It's going to be something that, like, ignites their passion and inspires them to, like, be their best selves. And, like, the key is to, like, trust that inner guidance and to, like, follow that spark of inspiration wherever it leads. You know. It's like, don't be afraid to take risks, don't be afraid to try new things, and don't be afraid to fail. Because, like, failure is just a part of the process. It's a learning opportunity. And, like, the more you try, the more you learn, and the closer you get to achieving your dreams. And, like, remember the black obsidian. It's still there, grounding this whole reading in truth. So it's not just about, like, blindly following your passions. It's about following your passions with awareness and integrity. It's about making sure that your actions are aligned with your values and that you're not hurting anyone else in the process. You know, it's like, use your fire to create positive change in the world, not to burn it down. And, like, the black obsidian is also about protection, right? So, like, this person needs to be careful about who they surround themselves with as they embark on this new journey. They need to make sure that they're surrounding themselves with people who support them, who encourage them, and who believe in them. And they need to avoid people who are negative, who are judgmental, or who try to bring them down. Because, like, those kinds of people can really drain your energy and make it harder to achieve your goals. So, like, choose your tribe wisely. And, like, the other thing to keep in mind is that this is just the beginning, right? Like, this is not the end of the story. This is just the start of a new chapter. And, like, there are going to be ups and downs along the way. There are going to be challenges and setbacks. But, like, the important thing is to, like, never give up on your dreams and to, like, always keep moving forward. And, like, the Page of Wands is a reminder that, like, even when things get tough, there's always hope for a brighter future. There's always the possibility of new beginnings and new adventures. So, like, embrace that energy, embrace that excitement, and, like, go out there and create the life you've always wanted. Okay, so, like, what's the overall message here? What's the, like, big takeaway from all of these cards? Well, like, I think it's that, like, even after the most difficult and challenging experiences, there's always the possibility of transformation and renewal. There's always the opportunity to, like, learn, grow, and create a better future for yourself. And, like, it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And, like, the Page of Wands is a reminder to, like, never lose hope, to always keep believing in yourself, and to always follow your passions. And, like, that's a pretty powerful message, right? It's a message of resilience, of optimism, and of, like, the incredible potential that lies within each and every one of us. So, like, go out there and claim that potential. Go out there and live your best life. And, like, don't forget to have fun along the way. Because, like, life is too short to be serious all the time. So, like, embrace the joy, embrace the adventure, and embrace the Page of Wands energy. So, like, that's it. That's the end of the reading. I hope you found it helpful and insightful. And, like, I'm so excited to see what happens next on this person's journey. Because, like, this is just the beginning. Okay, so, like, where do we even begin after all of that? I mean, seriously, that was a roller coaster. But, like, in the best way possible, right? So just to recap, we started with this, like, little spark of curiosity with the Page of Swords, like, something's not quite right, let me see what's going on. And then the King of Wands, this person was like, okay, I'm taking charge, I'm gonna figure this out. Then bam, death, complete transformation, letting go of the old, making way for the new. And then Judgment, the universe is calling, it's time to step into your true purpose. And then the Five of Swords, this potential conflict, this temptation to, like, compromise your values. And then, boom, the Tower, everything falls apart. But now we have the Page of Wands, this incredible new beginning, this fresh start filled with passion and excitement. Like, can you even believe it? So, like, after all that chaos, after all that destruction, what does this Page of Wands actually mean? Well, I think it means that this person has been given a gift, you know. Like, they've been given the opportunity to, like, completely reinvent themselves to create a life that's truly aligned with their soul. It's like the universe cleared away all the old junk, all the things that were holding them back, and now they have this blank canvas to work with. And like, that's both exciting and terrifying, right? But mostly exciting. So like, what could this new beginning look like? Well, it really depends on the person, right? But like, I'm seeing a few different possibilities here. One possibility is a new career path, right? Like, maybe this person has been feeling unfulfilled in their current job for a long time, and the Tower event forced them to, like, finally make a change. And now they have the chance to pursue something that they're actually passionate about. Like, maybe they've always wanted to be a writer, or an artist, or a musician, or a yoga teacher, or whatever. And now they finally have the courage to go for it. Or like, maybe it's a completely different field that they never even considered before, but something that just, like, sparks their interest and makes them feel alive. It's like they're being called to, like, use their creativity and their talents to, like, create something beautiful in the world. It is almost like a blank page. Another possibility is a new relationship, right? Like, maybe this person has been in a relationship that was toxic or unhealthy, and the Tower event, like, completely shattered it. And now they have the chance to, like, find a partner who's actually good for them, who supports them, who loves them for who they are. And like, this time they're going to be more discerning, right? They're not going to settle for less than they deserve. They're going to, like, really take the time to get to know someone and make sure that they're truly compatible before committing to anything. Or like, maybe they're not even looking for a romantic relationship, but just, like, new friendships, new connections with people who resonate with their soul. I am also seeing maybe a new partnership, a business partnership, you know. And like, another possibility is a new spiritual path, right? Like, maybe this person has been feeling disconnected from their spirituality for a while, and the Tower event woke them up and made them realize that they need to, like, reconnect with their higher self. And now they're being called to, like, explore different spiritual practices to find something that truly resonates with them, whether it's meditation or yoga or energy healing or whatever. Or like, maybe they're being called to, like, start their own spiritual community to, like, share their wisdom and their light with others. But like, whatever it is, it's going to be something that, like, really lights them up, something that makes them feel excited and passionate and alive. And like, the key is to, like, trust that inner guidance and to, like, follow that spark of inspiration wherever it leads. Don't second guess yourself, don't let fear hold you back, just, like, go for it. But like, here's the thing, right? Like the Page of Wands, it's not just about, like, dreaming big and having great ideas. It's also about, like, taking action and actually making those dreams a reality. And that can be hard work, right? It requires focus, dedication, and a willingness to, like, learn and grow along the way. So, like, this person needs to be careful not to get too caught up in the excitement and enthusiasm and forget to, like, actually plan things out and take practical steps. And, like, that's where the Black Obsidian comes in, right? Like, the Black Obsidian is all about grounding, protection, and cutting through illusions. So it's like, as this person embarks on this new journey, they need to stay grounded in their truth. They need to protect themselves from negativity and doubt, and they need to be able to see through any illusions or false promises that might come their way. The Black Obsidian will help you stay focused on what's real, what's true, and what's actually in alignment with your highest good. And like, it's also about harmonizing your energies, right? Balancing your passion and your enthusiasm with your logic and your reason. It's about making sure that you're not just, like, blindly following your impulses, but that you're also, like, thinking things through and making smart decisions. It is a reminder that you are whole. It is the reminder that you are strong. So, like, what's the guidance here? What are some practical steps that this person can take to, like, make the most of this new beginning? Well, like, the first thing is to, like, get clear on your vision, right? Like, what do you actually want to create? What kind of life do you want to live? get specific, write it down, and visualize it every day. And then, break it down into smaller steps, right? Don't try to do everything at once. Just focus on one small step at a time, and celebrate every little victory along the way. You will want to celebrate the small steps along the way to your big goals. And then, find a mentor or a coach, right? Someone who's already achieved what you want to achieve, someone who can guide you and support you along the way. This is a great opportunity to meet new people. And then, take care of yourself, right? Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, and exercising regularly. And don't forget to, make time for fun and relaxation. You need time to have fun. And then, stay positive, right? There are going to be challenges along the way, there are going to be setbacks and disappointments. But don't let that get you down. Just keep believing in yourself, keep focusing on your goals, and keep moving forward. And most importantly, trust yourself, right? You have everything you need inside of you to create the life you want. You are strong, you are capable, and you are worthy of all the good things that are coming your way. And the universe is supporting you every step of the way. So, what's the final message here? Well, I think it's that, you've been through a lot, right? You've faced some major challenges, you've experienced some deep transformations, and you've come out stronger on the other side. And now, you're ready for this new chapter. You're ready to embrace the Page of Wands energy and create a life that's truly authentic, fulfilling, and joyful. And I believe in you, the universe believes in you, and you need to believe in yourself too. You've got this. Now go out there and make it happen. And don't you forget to have fun. And with the black obsidian, you can always realign with your inner truth. Okay, so, Citrine Pyramid. This crystal is all about transformative energy, right? It's like shedding the old and embracing the new, and that perfectly aligns with our theme today. Rising above the past, and how those past experiences are shaping, their current feelings and how they're expressing love. So already, this is telling me that whatever happened before, it's not holding you back anymore, you know? It's actually fueling this incredible change. Okay, I am so excited to dive in, seriously. All right, so the first card we have is the Two of Swords. Ooh, okay. So the Two of Swords, this is that classic image of being blindfolded, holding the swords, crossed, and you're just stuck, right? You can't see the way forward, you're feeling indecisive, maybe even a little trapped. Ooh, you know. And usually Two of Swords is all about, needing to make a decision, but you're avoiding it. You're, paralyzed by fear or confusion or just, not wanting to hurt anyone. But okay, given our theme of past experiences, I'm really feeling that this is connected to something that happened before, you know? Maybe there was a past relationship where you felt really torn, you couldn't make a choice. Or maybe you made a choice that, really hurt someone, and now you're afraid to repeat that, you know? It's like you're carrying that baggage with you, and it's clouding your judgment. It could even be something from childhood, a situation where you felt like you had to choose between your parents or something, you know. Something that created this deep-seated fear of making the wrong decision. And that's the key thing here, fear. This isn't just about indecision, it's about being afraid of the consequences. And what's interesting is that the swords are representing thoughts, right? So it's like you're trapped in your head, overthinking everything, analyzing every single possibility, and it's just leading you in circles. You're not trusting your intuition, you're not listening to your heart, you're just letting your mind run wild, and it's exhausting, you know. And the blindfold, that's saying you're not seeing the full picture. You're missing some key information, or you're refusing to see it. Maybe there's something you're not willing to admit to yourself, something you're hiding from. Ouch. Okay, so, in the context of love and relationships, this could definitely be about feeling stuck in a relationship, right? Maybe you're not happy, but you're afraid to leave. Or maybe you're interested in someone, but you're afraid of rejection. Or maybe you're just, completely blocked when it comes to love, because you're still hung up on someone from the past. You're comparing everyone to this ideal, and nobody measures up, you know. And that past relationship, It could have been a really good thing at one point, but now it's just like a ghost haunting you. Or, okay, here's another possibility. Maybe you're in a situation where you're trying to decide between two people and you're completely torn, right? Like, both of them have qualities that you love, but neither of them is perfect. And you're just agonizing over which one to choose because you don't want to hurt either of them. You're trying to weigh the pros and cons, but it's just making you more confused and it's paralyzing you. This is so relatable. Been there, right? And what's really important to remember here is that this is all about perception. The Two of Swords isn't necessarily about a real situation. It's about how you're perceiving the situation. You're creating this block for yourself. You're putting up these walls. You're blindfolding yourself. So, the key is to take off the blindfold, to see things clearly, to trust your intuition, and to make a decision based on what's truly right for you, not based on fear or obligation. Okay, but here's the good news, because things are about to get so much better. Because after the Two of Swords, we have the Sun. Woohoo! This is like the most amazing card in the deck, right? Like pure joy, pure happiness, pure abundance. It's like everything is coming up roses, finally. You're breaking free from that confusion, you're seeing the light, and you're feeling amazing. So the Sun, it represents clarity, optimism, vitality, success, happiness, everything good. And after the Two of Swords, it's like a huge relief, right? Like you've been struggling, you've been stuck, but now the clouds are parting and the sun is shining down on you. You're finally able to see things clearly and you're feeling confident and energized. Okay, so what does this mean in terms of love and relationships? Well, first of all, it could mean that you're finally making that decision that you've been putting off, and it's the right decision, right? Like, you're choosing the path that leads to happiness and fulfillment, even if it's a little scary. Maybe you're ending a relationship that's not serving you anymore, or maybe you're taking a chance on someone new. Whatever it is, it's the right choice, and it's going to bring you so much joy. Or it could mean that you're finding happiness within yourself, regardless of your relationship status. Like you're realizing that you don't need someone else to complete you, that you're already whole and perfect as you are. And that's so powerful. When you're happy with yourself, you attract the right kind of love into your life. You're not desperate or needy, you're just radiating positivity, and people are drawn to that, you know. And okay, going back to our theme of past experiences, the sun could represent healing from past hurts, right? Like, you're finally letting go of that baggage, you're forgiving yourself and others, and you're opening yourself up to new possibilities. You're realizing that the past doesn't define you, that you can create your own future, a future filled with love and joy. And the sun is also about truth and honesty, right? So it could mean that you're finally being honest with yourself about what you want and need in a relationship. You're not settling for less than you deserve. You're not pretending to be someone you're not. You're just being your authentic self. And that's so attractive. When you're genuine, you attract people who love you for who you really are, not for some idealized version of you. But the best thing about the sun is that it's not just about feeling good. It's about sharing that joy with others, right? It's about radiating that light and making the world a brighter place. You're inspiring others, you're uplifting them, you're making them feel good about themselves. And that's such a gift. When you're happy, you spread that happiness to everyone around you. It's contagious. Okay, so you've gone from feeling stuck and confused to feeling happy and energized. What do you do with all this new energy? Well, that's where the next card comes in. The Fool. This is like the perfect card to follow the sun, right? Like, you're feeling confident, you're feeling optimistic, you're ready to take a leap of faith. The Fool is all about new beginnings, spontaneity, adventure, and trusting the universe, right? Like, you're stepping off the edge of a cliff, but you're not afraid, because you know that everything's going to be okay. You're embracing the unknown, you're following your intuition, and you're just going for it. This card is absolutely perfect for you right now. So, in terms of love and relationships, the Fool could mean that you're ready to start a new relationship, even if it's a little scary, you know. Like you're putting yourself out there, you're meeting new people, you're swiping right, you're saying yes to dates, you're just opening yourself up to possibilities. And you're not afraid to be vulnerable, you're not afraid to get hurt, because you know that it's worth the risk. Or it could mean that you're taking a new approach to your current relationship, right? Like you're injecting some spontaneity and adventure into it. You're trying new things, you're breaking out of your routine. You're surprising your partner, you're keeping things fresh, and you're just having fun. That's what it's all about. And okay, here's a possibility. Maybe you're deciding to move to a new city, or travel the world, or pursue a new career, all in the name of love. Like you're following your heart, even if it means leaving everything behind. You're trusting that the universe will guide you, and that you'll find love and happiness wherever you go. Which is just such a great, inspiring thing. Now, the thing about the Fool is that he's a little bit naive, right? He's a little bit reckless. He's not always thinking things through. But that's okay. Because sometimes you need to take risks in order to find what you're looking for, you know. Sometimes you need to jump without looking, and trust that you'll land on your feet. Especially in love, right? And going back to our theme of past experiences, the Fool could represent breaking free from those old patterns, right? Like you're not letting your past dictate your future. You're not making the same mistakes again. You're just starting fresh. You're learning from your experiences, but you're not letting them hold you back. You're embracing the present moment, and you're looking forward to the future with optimism and excitement. So basically, what I'm seeing here is that you're going on a journey from confusion to clarity, from fear to joy, from stagnation to adventure. You're breaking free from the past, you're embracing the present, and you're stepping into the future with confidence and excitement. You're trusting yourself, you're trusting the universe, and you're just going for it. This is such a powerful transformation, and I'm so excited to see where it takes you. Remember, the citrine is amplifying this transformation for you. It's just so fantastic. Woo. Okay, I need to take a breath. Okay, so after that crazy roller coaster of emotions, the Fool leaping into the unknown, we now have the Page of Swords. Whoa. Okay, so the Page of Swords, like in general, this card is all about new ideas, new information, communication, but it's also got this, like, restless energy to it, you know? Like, it's not as grounded as the other court cards. Pages are all about potential, but with the sword suit, it's all about the mind, so it can be a bit, like, scattered, you know? Like, all over the place. So the Page of Swords, like, this is the messenger, right? It's bringing you some kind of news or a new perspective or a new way of thinking about things. But because it's a sword, it's usually something that requires you to be, like, mentally sharp, you know? To be quick-witted, to be able to analyze things clearly. This isn't necessarily about emotions, it's about logic and reason, okay? But pages are also about inexperience. They're just starting out, right? So the Page of Swords can sometimes indicate naivety, or being a little bit too eager to jump into things without thinking them through, you know? Like talking before you think or acting impulsively. Like sometimes that can be fun, sometimes it can be like a total disaster. And swords can be kind of harsh sometimes. And the swords, they're about truth, right? So this page isn't afraid to speak their mind, to say what they think, even if it's not what people want to hear. Which can be a good thing, but it can also lead to some conflicts, especially if they're not being tactful, or if they're not considering other people's feelings, you know. It's like they're so focused on getting the truth out there that they forget to be sensitive. So, okay, how does this fit into our story so far? We've had this journey from feeling stuck to feeling free, and now we have this Page of Swords bringing us some kind of message. So, I'm immediately thinking that this is about communicating those feelings, right? Like after the Sun, they have all this joy and clarity, and after the Fool, they're ready to take a leap of faith. But the Page of Swords is like, okay, how are you actually going to express this? Maybe they're finally finding the words to say what they've been feeling all along, you know. After being stuck in their head with the Two of Swords, they're now able to articulate their thoughts and feelings clearly and confidently. They're not afraid to speak their truth, to say what they want, to express their desires. Which is a huge step, right? But okay, here's another possibility. Maybe the Page of Swords is representing some anxieties or doubts that are creeping in as they move forward, you know? Like, they're feeling excited about this new beginning, but they're also a little bit nervous, a little bit unsure of themselves. Like, okay, I'm taking this leap, but what if I fall? That kind of thing. And that's totally normal, right? It's okay to have those doubts, as long as you don't let them paralyze you. And also, the energy of the citrine, it helps you move through that stuff. And the swords are mental, right? So this could be about overthinking things, about analyzing every single possibility, about getting caught up in their head again. Like, okay, I'm supposed to be spontaneous and adventurous, but what if I make the wrong choice? What if I get hurt? You know, it's like the mind is trying to catch up with the heart, and it's creating some friction. Okay, so, tying this back to our theme of past experiences, maybe the Page of Swords is bringing up some old fears or insecurities that are related to past relationships, you know. Like, maybe they're afraid of getting hurt again, or maybe they're afraid of repeating the same mistakes, or maybe they're just not sure if they're ready to be vulnerable again. It could also be that the Page of Swords represents someone else who is bringing news or information into the situation, right? Like maybe an ex is reaching out, or maybe a friend is offering some unsolicited advice, or maybe they're just seeing something on social media that's triggering them, you know, and it's forcing them to reevaluate their feelings or their decisions. That happens, right? So, what does this all mean in terms of love and relationships? Well, okay, first of all, it could mean that they're finally expressing their true feelings to someone they care about, right? Like, they're telling them how they feel, what they want, what they need. And they're doing it in a clear and direct way, without being afraid of rejection or judgment. That's huge. And I think you're in a place to do that now. But okay, here's another possibility. Maybe they're having a difficult conversation with someone, right? Like, maybe they need to set some boundaries, or maybe they need to address some unresolved issues, or maybe they need to end a relationship that's not working anymore. And it's not going to be easy, but it's necessary, you know. They have to stand up for themselves and speak their truth, even if it hurts. It could also be that they're receiving some unexpected news about someone, right? Like, maybe they find out that their crush is already in a relationship, or maybe they discover that their ex has moved on, or maybe they hear some gossip about someone they're interested in. And it's forcing them to adjust their expectations or to reevaluate their feelings, you know. Like, okay, maybe this isn't the right person for me after all. Or, okay, here's a fun one. Maybe they're flirting with someone new through text or social media, you know. Like, they're exchanging witty banter, they're sending each other memes, they're just having fun and getting to know each other. And it's exciting, but it's also a little bit nerve-wracking because they don't know where it's going to lead. And that's the fun part, right? That's what the Fool energy is all about. But okay, let's not forget about the negative side of the swords, right? It could be that they're getting into arguments or disagreements with their partner, or with someone they're interested in, you know. Like, maybe they're misunderstanding each other, or maybe they're misinterpreting each other's words, or maybe they're just not communicating effectively. And it's leading to some tension and frustration. Like, what did you mean by that? It could also be that they're being too critical or judgmental of themselves or of others, you know. Like they're focusing on the flaws, they're nitpicking every little thing, they're not seeing the good qualities. And it's creating a negative energy around them, and it's pushing people away. Remember, the sun is about radiating joy, not casting shade. But the most important thing to remember is that the Page of Swords is all about communication, right? So whatever is happening, it's important to be clear, to be honest, and to be open-minded. To listen to what other people have to say, to express your own feelings in a healthy way, and to avoid getting caught up in arguments or misunderstandings. And okay, going back to the idea of naivety, maybe they're being a little bit too trusting of someone, right? Like maybe they're believing everything they hear, or maybe they're ignoring some red flags, or maybe they're just not seeing the full picture. And it's important to be cautious, to be discerning, and to trust your intuition. Because sometimes people aren't who they seem to be. So basically, what I'm seeing here is that the Page of Swords is bringing some kind of mental challenge, some kind of communication-related issue, into the mix, right? It could be about expressing their feelings, It could be about dealing with anxieties. It could be about receiving unexpected news. It could be about navigating conflicts. But whatever it is, it's requiring them to be mentally sharp, to be clear-headed, and to be honest with themselves and with others. But the citrine is going to make it easier to sort through. And it's also important to remember that the page is just starting out, right? They're still learning, they're still growing, they're still figuring things out. So it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to stumble, it's okay to not have all the answers. The key is to learn from those experiences, to keep moving forward, and to trust that you'll eventually find your way. And you are well on your way right now, my friend. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited to see what happens next, which means we have to pull another card. What's coming up next? Okay, so after all of that, we have the Chariot. Bam, right? Okay, so the Chariot in general is such a powerful card. It's about victory, it's about assertiveness, it's about being in control. You see that figure standing there, right? Totally in command of that chariot, and those, sphinxes or horses or whatever they are, pulling in opposite directions. It's about harnessing those opposing forces and driving forward, you know? Even when things are difficult, even when you feel like you're being pulled in different directions, you have the power to stay focused and achieve your goals. It's about willpower. And okay, the Chariot is a major arcana card, right? So it's not just about everyday stuff, it's about big life lessons, it's about major shifts in your perspective. It's about, stepping into your power and taking responsibility for your own destiny. It's I'm in charge here and I'm going to make things happen. But okay, it's not just about brute force, right? It's not about, running over people to get what you want. It's about having discipline, it's about having focus, it's about having a clear vision of what you want to achieve. It's about being strategic, you know? It's okay, I have this goal, and I'm going to break it down into smaller steps, and I'm going to work hard every day to make it happen. And the cool thing about the Chariot is that it often represents overcoming obstacles, right? You've been facing challenges, you've been dealing with setbacks, but you're not giving up. You're pushing through, you're learning from your mistakes, and you're becoming stronger as a result. And that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of victory is just so satisfying, right? It's yes, I did it. I overcame the odds. So, okay, how does this relate to the previous cards we pulled? Well, remember the Two of Swords, where you were feeling stuck and indecisive. The Chariot is the opposite of that. It's you've finally made a decision, you've chosen a path, and now you're moving forward with determination, you know? You're not letting fear or doubt hold you back anymore. And remember the Sun, where you were feeling so happy and energized. The Chariot is about taking that energy and channeling it into something productive, you know? It's not just about feeling good, it's about doing good, it's about creating something amazing. And remember the Fool, where you were taking that leap of faith. The Chariot is about landing on your feet and taking control of your journey, right? It's you've embraced the unknown, you've trusted the universe, and now you're steering your own course. And also, with that citrine energy, it is boosting that confidence like crazy. And okay, remember the Page of Swords, where you were dealing with all those mental challenges and communication issues. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. The Chariot is about mastering your thoughts and emotions, right? It's about not letting your anxieties or doubts control you. It's about communicating your needs and desires clearly and effectively, without getting caught up in arguments or misunderstandings. It's you're taking all that swirling, chaotic energy of the Page of Swords and focusing it into a laser beam of intention. So, in terms of love and relationships, the Chariot could mean a few different things, right? Okay, first of all, it could mean that you're taking control of your love life and actively pursuing what you want. You're not sitting around waiting for someone to come along and sweep you off your feet. You're going out there and making it happen. You're putting yourself out there, you're meeting new people, you're being proactive about finding love. It's I deserve to be happy, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to find the right person. Or, okay, it could mean that you're taking charge of an existing relationship and working to improve it, right? Like, maybe you've been having some problems, maybe you've been drifting apart, but you're not giving up. You're communicating openly and honestly with your partner, you're setting boundaries, you're working together to create a stronger, more fulfilling relationship. It's like, we can get through this, we can make this work, we just need to put in the effort. And okay, here's another possibility. Maybe the Chariot is about overcoming obstacles in a relationship, right? Like maybe you're facing some external challenges, like distance or family disapproval or financial problems, but you're not letting those things break you apart. You're fighting for your love, you're standing up for your relationship, and you're proving that nothing can stand in your way. It's like, our love is stronger than anything, and we're going to overcome these obstacles together. It could also mean that you're finally ready to commit to a relationship, right? Like, maybe you've been hesitant in the past, maybe you've been afraid of getting hurt, but now you're feeling confident and secure enough to take that leap. You're ready to build a future with someone, you're ready to share your life with them, and you're ready to create something lasting and meaningful. It's like, I'm all in, I'm ready to commit, and I'm excited about what the future holds. And okay, sometimes the Chariot can represent a journey, right? Like, maybe you're moving to a new city with your partner, or maybe you're going on a long trip together, or maybe you're just embarking on a new chapter in your relationship. And this journey is going to bring you closer together. It's going to strengthen your bond, and it's going to create memories that will last a lifetime. It's like, let's explore the world together, let's experience new things, and let's create a love story that's full of adventure. But okay, let's not forget about the potential downsides of the Chariot, right? Sometimes it can indicate being too controlling, too aggressive, too focused on achieving your goals at the expense of other people's feelings. It's like you're so determined to get what you want that you're not considering the impact of your actions on others. And that can lead to some serious problems in a relationship, right? Like resentment, anger, and a lack of trust. It could also mean that you're being too rigid, too inflexible, too unwilling to compromise, right? Like, you have this idea of how things should be, and you're not willing to budge, even if it's hurting your relationship. And that can create a lot of tension and conflict, because nobody wants to feel like they're being controlled or manipulated. It's important to be willing to listen to your partner's needs and desires, to be open to different perspectives, and to find a compromise that works for both of you. And okay, sometimes the Chariot can represent a power struggle, right? Like, you and your partner are constantly fighting for control, you're constantly trying to one-up each other, and you're constantly competing for dominance. And that's just exhausting, right? It creates a really toxic environment, and it prevents you from truly connecting with each other. It's important to remember that a healthy relationship is about equality, it's about mutual respect, and it's about supporting each other's goals. So, tying this back to our theme of past experiences, the Chariot could represent overcoming past traumas and taking control of your emotional well-being, right? Like, you're not letting past hurts dictate your present or your future. You're healing from those wounds, you're learning from your mistakes, and you're becoming stronger and more resilient as a result. You're taking charge of your own happiness, and you're creating a life that's filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. It could also mean that you're breaking free from old patterns in relationships, right? Like, maybe you've always been attracted to a certain type of person, or maybe you've always repeated the same mistakes in relationships, but now you're consciously choosing to do things differently. You're breaking those patterns, you're challenging your assumptions, and you're opening yourself up to new possibilities. And that's so empowering, right? It's like you're rewriting your love story, and you're creating a new chapter that's filled with hope and potential. And okay, going back to the Citrine energy, the Chariot is about harnessing that transformative power and using it to create positive change in your life, right? It's about taking all that energy and directing it towards your goals. It's about overcoming obstacles, and it's about achieving victory in all areas of your life. And it's also about celebrating those victories and recognizing how far you've come. So basically, what I'm seeing here is that the Chariot is about taking control. It's about moving forward with confidence, and it's about overcoming obstacles, right? It's about harnessing your willpower. It's about mastering your emotions. And it's about creating a life that's aligned with your values and your desires. And it's also about remembering that you have the power to steer your own course. You have the power to create your own destiny. And you have the power to achieve anything you set your mind to. You are driving the dang bus right now, and all of this transformative energy is fueling it. Wow. And it's like you're leaving that past in the dust. So good. Okay, I'm dying to know. What's the very last bit of advice here? Time for the very last card, the final message. Okay, so after all of that, seriously, all that chariot energy we now have. The Four of Wands. Whoa. Okay, so the Four of Wands in general, it's such a feel-good card, right? It's all about celebration, harmony, and feeling secure. Think a wedding or a graduation or some kind of big accomplishment that you're sharing with the people you love, It's about feeling grateful for what you have and about enjoying the moment. And the Wands suit, it's all about passion and creativity and energy, right? So this isn't just any old celebration. This is a celebration of something you're really passionate about, something that you've poured your heart and soul into. And it's also about home and community, right? Feeling connected to the people around you, feeling like you belong. It's about creating a safe and supportive environment where you can be yourself and where you can thrive. It's like you've built something beautiful, and now you're taking a moment to appreciate it and to share it with the people who matter most to you. It's like a sigh of relief. Everything is good, So okay, how does this connect to the previous cards we've pulled? Well, remember the Two of Swords where there was that indecision. The Four of Wands is okay, you've finally made a decision, and now you're celebrating the fact that you're on the right path, You've overcome that obstacle, you've made that choice, and now you're feeling so much lighter and happier. And oh my gosh, remember the Sun, where you were feeling all that joy and optimism. The Four of Wands is okay, let's share that joy with others. Let's create a celebration that everyone can enjoy. It's about spreading that positivity and making the world a brighter place. And remember the Fool, where you were taking that leap of faith. The Four of Wands is okay, you've landed on your feet and now you're building a stable foundation for your future, You've taken that risk and now you're reaping the rewards. It's about creating a home, a community, a life that you love. I love that. Also, remember that Page of Swords where you were dealing with those communication challenges. The Four of Wands is okay, let's put all that aside for now and just focus on the good things, Let's celebrate our connections, let's enjoy each other's company, and let's forget about all the drama. For now. Haha. And OMG, remember the Chariot where you were taking control and moving forward with determination. The Four of Wands is okay, you've reached a milestone, you've achieved a goal, and now you're taking a moment to celebrate your success, You've earned it. You've worked hard, you've overcome obstacles, and now you're allowing yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Seriously, give yourself a pat on the back. So okay, what does this mean in terms of love and relationships? Well, okay, first of all, it could mean that you're celebrating a milestone in your relationship, right? Maybe you're getting engaged, or maybe you're getting married, or maybe you're moving in together, or maybe you're just celebrating an anniversary, It's about acknowledging the progress you've made as a couple and about looking forward to the future together. It's we've come so far and we have so much to look forward to. Or it could mean that you're creating a home together, right? You're decorating your apartment, or you're buying a house, or you're just making your space feel more comfortable and inviting, It's about creating a sanctuary where you can relax and recharge and where you can be yourselves. It's this is our space, this is where we belong, and this is where we can be happy. I love it. Also, it could mean that you're building a strong foundation for your relationship, right? You're communicating openly and honestly, you're respecting each other's boundaries, and you're supporting each other's dreams, It's about creating a relationship that's built on trust, respect, and love. It's we're in this together, we're a team, and we're going to support each other through thick and thin. Ooh, wow. And okay, here's a possibility. Maybe you're introducing your partner to your family and friends, right? Like, you're bringing them into your inner circle, and you're showing them how much they mean to you. You know. It's about integrating your relationship into your life and about creating a sense of community around your love. It's like, I want you to meet the people who are important to me, and I want them to see how amazing you are. So sweet. Also, okay, maybe you're just having fun together, right? Like, you're going on dates, you're traveling, you're laughing, and you're just enjoying each other's company, you know. It's about creating memories that will last a lifetime and about cherishing the moments you have together. It's like, let's make the most of every day, let's have fun, and let's create a love story that's full of adventure. But okay, let's not forget about the potential challenges, right? Sometimes the Four of Wands can indicate that you're getting too comfortable, right? Like you're falling into a routine, you're not putting in the effort to keep the spark alive, and you're taking each other for granted, you know? It's important to remember that relationships require work, and that you need to keep things fresh and exciting in order to stay connected. It's like, let's not let things get stale, let's keep dating each other, and let's keep exploring new things together. Also, it could mean that you're focusing too much on the external things, like the wedding or the house or the parties, and you're not paying enough attention to the internal things, like your feelings, your needs, and your connection with your partner, you know. It's important to remember that a relationship is more than just a celebration. It's a deep and meaningful connection that requires nurturing and attention. So, okay, the most important thing is to find a balance between celebrating your relationship and nurturing your connection, right? Like, enjoy the good times, but also be there for each other during the tough times, and always remember why you fell in love in the first place. So, tying this back to our theme of past experiences, the Four of Wands could represent finally feeling safe and secure in a relationship after a past trauma, right? Like maybe you've been hurt in the past, maybe you've been betrayed, or maybe you've just had a string of bad relationships, but now you're finally feeling like you can trust someone again, you know. It's like you've healed from those wounds, you've learned from your mistakes, and you're ready to open your heart to love again. I love this for you. It could also mean that you're creating a healthy and stable relationship after growing up in a chaotic or dysfunctional family, right? Like maybe you didn't have a good role model for relationships, or maybe you experienced a lot of conflict or drama in your childhood, but now you're consciously choosing to create a different kind of relationship for yourself, one that's based on respect, communication, and love, you know. It's like you're breaking free from those old patterns and creating a new legacy for yourself. And that's empowering. So basically, what I'm seeing here is that the Four of Wands is about celebration, harmony, and security, right? It's about feeling grateful for what you have. It's about enjoying the moment, and it's about creating a solid foundation for your future. And it is like a perfect pause from all of that chariot energy to celebrate the journey. But it's also about being mindful of the potential challenges and about making sure that you're nurturing your connection and staying present in your relationship. This is a great card. But okay, what's the final piece of the puzzle? What's the final message that the universe wants you to hear? I'm like dying to know. So without further ado, let's pull the last card. Okay, so after all of that, and ending on that super positive Four of Wands energy, the next card is the Queen of Swords. Ooh, okay. This is, like, really interesting. Okay, so the Queen of Swords, like, in general, she's a very independent woman, right? Like, she's intelligent, she's analytical, she's perceptive, she's not afraid to speak her mind, and she values truth and justice above all else. She can sometimes be seen as cold or detached, but that's just because she's very logical and objective, and she doesn't let her emotions cloud her judgment. She's like, tell it to me straight, no BS, you know. And like the sword suit, it's all about the mind, right? So this queen is very much in her head. She's very focused on intellectual pursuits, and she's very good at problem solving and critical thinking. She's the kind of person you want on your team when you're facing a difficult challenge, because she'll be able to see through the smoke and mirrors and get to the heart of the matter. She's also very honest, and she expects honesty from others. She doesn't tolerate lies or deceit, and she's not afraid to call people out on their BS. which can sometimes make her seem intimidating, but it's just because she has a very strong sense of integrity, you know? She's like, I'm not going to sugarcoat things, I'm going to tell you the truth, even if it hurts. And like, as a queen, she's very much in her power, right? She's confident, she's independent, and she knows what she wants. She's not looking for anyone to rescue her or to tell her what to do. She's perfectly capable of taking care of herself and of making her own decisions. And she's not afraid to be alone, either. She values her independence and her freedom, and she's not willing to sacrifice those things for a relationship. She needs a partner who respects her intelligence and her independence, and who is able to challenge her intellectually. She's not interested in someone who's going to try to control her or to tell her what to do. She needs someone who's going to treat her as an equal and who's going to appreciate her for who she is. So, okay, how does this relate to the previous cards we've pulled? Well, remember the Four of Wands, where you were feeling all that celebration and security. The Queen of Swords is like, okay, don't get too comfortable, you know? Don't let your guard down. It's important to stay aware and to stay focused on your goals. It's like, enjoy the moment, but don't lose sight of the bigger picture. And remember the Chariot, where you were taking control and moving forward with determination. The Queen of Swords is like, okay, make sure you're being strategic and logical about your approach, you know? Don't just blindly charge ahead. Think things through, analyze the situation, and make sure you're making the right decisions. It's like, use your head, not just your willpower. And okay, remember the Page of Swords, where you were dealing with all those communication challenges. The Queen of Swords is like, okay, be clear and direct in your communication, you know? Don't beat around the bush. Say what you mean and mean what you say. It's like, get to the point and don't waste my time. And like, remember the Fool, where you were taking that leap of faith. The Queen of Swords is like, okay, make sure you're not being too naive or reckless, you know? Think things through before you act. It's like, don't jump without looking. And of course, remember the Sun, where you were feeling all that joy and optimism. The Queen of Swords is like, okay, don't let your emotions cloud your judgment, you know? Stay objective and logical. It's like, keep your head in the game, even when you're feeling happy. And of course, remember the Two of Swords, where you were feeling stuck and indecisive. The Queen of Swords is like, okay, make a decision and move forward, you know? Don't let fear or confusion hold you back. It's like, take control of your life and make things happen. So, in terms of love and relationships, the Queen of Swords could mean a few different things, right? Okay, first of all, it could mean that you're attracting a partner who is very intelligent and independent, someone who is not afraid to speak their mind, and who values truth and honesty above all else. This person is going to challenge you intellectually and is going to push you to be your best self. They're not going to be easily impressed, and they're not going to tolerate any BS. But if you can earn their respect, they'll be a loyal and supportive partner. It's like, I'm looking for someone who is my equal, someone who can keep up with me intellectually, and who is not afraid to challenge me. Or, it could mean that you're becoming more independent and self-sufficient in your relationship, right? Like, you're not relying on your partner for everything, you're taking care of yourself, and you're pursuing your own goals and interests. This is going to make you a stronger and more confident partner, and it's going to create a healthier dynamic in your relationship. It's like, I'm not going to lose myself in this relationship. I'm going to maintain my independence and my sense of self. And okay, here's another possibility. Maybe you need to be more honest and direct in your communication with your partner, right? Like, you need to stop beating around the bush and start saying what you mean. This is going to help you avoid misunderstandings and conflicts, and it's going to create a more transparent and trusting relationship. It's like, I'm going to be honest with you, even if it's difficult, because I value our relationship and I want it to be built on a foundation of trust. Also, it could mean that you need to set some boundaries in your relationship, right? Like, you need to define what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate. This is going to help you protect yourself from being taken advantage of or disrespected, and it's going to create a healthier and more balanced relationship. It's like, I'm not going to let you walk all over me. I'm going to stand up for myself and I'm going to protect my boundaries. And, okay, Sometimes the Queen of Swords can represent a period of solitude or reflection, right? Like you need to take some time to yourself to clear your head and to figure out what you really want. This is not necessarily a bad thing. It can actually be very beneficial for your personal growth and for your relationship. It's like, I need some time to myself to recharge and to reconnect with my inner self. But okay, let's not forget about the potential downsides of the Queen of Swords, right? Sometimes she can be too critical, too judgmental, too detached, too cold, right? Like, you're focusing too much on logic and reason, and you're not paying enough attention to your emotions or to the emotions of others. This can make you seem unapproachable and can damage your relationships. It's important to remember that relationships are about more than just logic. They're about connection, empathy, and compassion. It's about opening up that heart, right? It could also mean that you're being too independent and self-sufficient, right? Like, you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable or to ask for help. This can make your partner feel like you don't need them or that you don't trust them. It's important to remember that relationships are about interdependence. It's about supporting each other and relying on each other. So, okay, tying this back to our theme of past experiences, the Queen of Swords could represent healing from a past betrayal or disappointment, right? Like maybe you've been hurt in the past, maybe you've been lied to, or maybe you've been taken advantage of, but now you're learning to trust your own judgment and to protect yourself from being hurt again. You're becoming more discerning about who you let into your life, and you're setting stronger boundaries. It's like, I'm not going to let my past experiences define me. I'm going to learn from them, and I'm going to create a better future for myself. It could also mean that you're breaking free from a codependent relationship pattern, right? Like maybe you've always been drawn to people who need you or who are emotionally unstable, but now you're learning to value your own independence and to prioritize your own needs. You're becoming more attracted to people who are healthy, stable, and self-sufficient. And okay, going back to the Citrine energy, the Queen of Swords is about using that transformative power to become more authentic and more empowered in your relationships, right? It's about breaking free from old patterns, setting healthy boundaries, and communicating your needs clearly and effectively. It's about becoming the queen of your own life and creating relationships that are based on respect, honesty, and equality. She's like, use that citrine to transform into your most powerful self and speak your truth. And it is also about remembering that you have the power to choose who you let into your life. You have the power to create healthy relationships, and you have the power to be happy. So basically, what I'm seeing here is that the Queen of Swords is about being independent, honest, and logical in your relationships, right? It's about setting boundaries, communicating clearly, and valuing truth above all else. It's about becoming more empowered and more authentic in your relationships. But it's also about being mindful of the potential downsides, like being too critical or detached, and about making sure that you're balancing your head with your heart. She is basically saying, you're amazing, but don't get too comfy. This is so good. Okay, I'm dying to know what's coming up next. Okay, so after that whirlwind of cards, it's like the universe is basically saying, okay, you've celebrated, you've charged forward, you felt all the feels, now it's time to get real. And that's where the Queen of Swords comes in, right? She's the voice of reason, the voice of truth, the voice that says, okay, let's get serious, but like in a good way. So remember that Two of Swords. The feeling stuck. The Queen is like, girl, no, make a decision and own it. Remember the sun, the joy. The Queen's like, okay, that's great, but don't get carried away. Stay grounded. Remember the Fool, the leap of faith. The Queen's like, okay, but pack a parachute. She's the friend who loves you but also tells you when you're being a little bit crazy, you know. And I mean that in the best way possible, because sometimes we all need a little bit of that Queen of Swords energy to keep us on track. But here's the thing about the Queen of Swords. She's not just about being cold and detached. She's also incredibly intelligent, perceptive, and fair. She sees things clearly, and she's not afraid to speak her mind. She's like a truth teller, right? She is all about that honesty. She's the kind of person who will always tell you the truth, even if it's not what you want to hear. And that's a gift, you know. But okay, let's be real, the Queen of Swords can sometimes be a little bit intimidating, right? She can come across as a little bit harsh, a little bit judgmental. And it's important to remember that she's not trying to be mean, she's just being honest. And she's holding you to a high standard because she knows that you're capable of great things. So, how do you embody the Queen of Swords in your own life? How do you channel her energy without becoming like a total ice queen? Well, here are a few tips. First of all, be honest with yourself and with others. Don't sugarcoat things, don't try to be someone you're not, just be real. People will appreciate your honesty, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable at times. Be like, I'm real, take it or leave it. Secondly, set boundaries. Know what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate, and don't be afraid to say no. This is especially important in relationships, where it's easy to get caught up in pleasing others and forgetting about your own needs. The Queen is all about the boundaries, like solid boundaries. Thirdly, trust your intuition. You have a powerful inner voice, so listen to it. Don't let other people tell you what to do or what to think. Trust your own judgment and make decisions that are aligned with your values. Fourthly, be independent. Don't rely on others for your happiness or your self-worth. Pursue your own goals and interests and create a life that's fulfilling for you. The Queen is like, I got this all day. Fifthly, be discerning. Not everyone deserves your trust, so be careful who you let into your life. Pay attention to red flags, and don't be afraid to walk away from relationships that are not serving you. And finally, be kind to yourself. The Queen of Swords can be a tough taskmaster, so remember to give yourself a break every now and then. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be yourself. And that's enough. So, okay, tying this back to our theme of past experiences, the Queen of Swords is about learning from your past mistakes and creating a better future for yourself. It's about taking control of your life and making choices that are aligned with your values. Maybe you've been hurt in the past, maybe you've been betrayed, maybe you've been taken advantage of. But the Queen of Swords is here to tell you that you are strong, you are resilient, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. She's all about saying, okay, that happened, and I learned from it, and now I'm moving on. No looking back, no regrets, just forward motion. She's like transforming that pain into power. And remember that citrine pyramid. It's still there, radiating that transformative energy, reminding you that change is good, and it's leading you to where you need to be. It's like that citrine is fueling your inner queen, giving you the strength and courage to step into your power and create a life that's authentic and fulfilling. The Queen of Swords is also about using your intellect and your intuition to make smart decisions, to navigate challenging situations, and to create a life that's aligned with your values, you know. It's about finding that balance between your head and your heart, and about using both to create a life that's both fulfilling and successful. She's all about using your brains and your heart, not just one or the other. She says, be smart, but don't forget to feel. Be strong, but don't forget to be kind. Be independent, but don't forget to connect. She's just a master of balance, that queen. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you are on the verge of something amazing. You've gone through a period of transformation, you've learned a lot about yourself, and you're ready to step into your power and create a life that's truly authentic. You've faced your fears, you've overcome obstacles, and you've emerged stronger and more resilient than ever before. You're like a warrior, you know. And the Queen of Swords is here to guide you, to support you, and to remind you that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. She is a reminder that you are strong, you are intelligent, and you are worthy of love and happiness. She's like your personal cheerleader, but with a sword. Haha. So embrace your inner Queen of Swords and go out there and create the life you've always dreamed of. And remember, you are not alone. You have the support of the universe, the guidance of the cards, and the love of your friends and family. So go forth and conquer, my friend. You've got this. Seriously, you so got this. I believe in you. And remember to keep that citrine close, because it's going to keep fueling that transformation and helping you to become the best version of yourself. You are powerful, you are amazing, and you are worthy of all the good things that are coming your way. Just remember to stay true to yourself, to set healthy boundaries, and to never, ever give up on your dreams. You've got this, seriously. Like, I know you do. This whole reading has been about you finding your power, and now you have it. So go out there and use it. Create the life you want, love the people you love, and never be afraid to be yourself. The world needs your unique brand of awesomeness, so shine bright, my friend. Shine bright. Okay, I am so excited for you. I can't wait to see what amazing things you do. This has been such an incredible journey, and I'm so grateful to have been a part of it. Thank you for letting me read for you.